Good evening, race fans, and welcome. It's the legendary Loudon, New Hampshire Motor Speedway, and it's also the legendary NORA Cup Series. Yes, we've been covering them for much of this season 2023, and it's been an exciting one all season. Tonight, this should be a blast to say the least. A roller coaster ride unlike any other. And for those of you that were with us on Sunday night for the Icon Cup Series, we have quite the roller coaster to look forward to here tonight. I'm Trevor Greenfield, as always, here in the NORA Series booth, and I'm joined by none other than NORA veteran, sometimes racer, and great commentator, Christian Snyder. Christian, welcome once again, and what are we looking forward to tonight here at New Hampshire Motor Speedway?
Well, I'm sure it's going to be another fantastic race here for NORA. They are kind of dealing with a loose condition tonight, looser than normal. The track's a little bit slick. These cars were built to be loose, so these guys are walking on eggshells coming out of the corner. We may see a few cautions come from that, some self-spins out of turn 2 or 4. And if they wreck out of 4, this is kind of a narrow front stretch, so if there's a wreck on out of turn 4, it might cause a possible big one. We saw it on Sunday. There were a couple 6-car crashes. Saturday in real life there also was. So this track is very unique in that sense, and there's going to be a lot of downshifting, believe it or not. These guys, some of them are running third gear in the corners, some are running fourth. It just depends on how they feel coming out of the corner. So going to be an interesting race as we see qualifying underway in the background, and Tom Senchek currently top of the board in the 26 car.
You're absolutely correct, Christian, and pretty much all of what you said is leading to the fact that tonight these drivers are going to have their absolute hands full. Timmy Harper for Harper Motorsports now eclipses that time, and just as I say that, there's Jacob Malone, fill-in driver tonight for Brian Powell Motorsports, who rockets to the top. Josh Curry just puts in his fast time there, going to take 6th position, and Blade Timmons for Harper Motorsports now putting in that 3rd fastest time. Josh Conover out there in the 8 tonight for Flatline with a new paint scheme and able to steal 9th, while Jake Christenberry with the Air Jordan paint scheme out there tonight. He's going to be trying his best here at Loudon to do something from starting inside the top 10. Jacob Gladelich as well going to be starting in the top 10, and here's a big surprise just about to land on him here as he starts up his lap. You talk about the ultimate ringer. How about the guy that took the victory on Sunday night for the Icon Cup Series? Kind of a surprise. Ryan Patty, the owner of the Icon Cup Series, now making his debut here in the NORA Cup Series on Tuesday night. Same cars, Christian. What do you think are his chances tonight, possibly stealing the show here in the NORA debut?
Well, it's definitely possible. We have seen another Icon driver come over from Icon to NORA to try their hand at winning. That was Joby Ray. He was leading in his debut over here in NORA, but did not get the win in the Truck Series at Mid-Ohio. But now Ryan Patty going to try to be the first person to go back-to-back on the weekend.
Well, only 6th fastest. That's going to be, it's good enough to start in the top 10, but as we saw Sunday night, this track is treacherous on these starts and restarts, so I have to watch it from anywhere other than pole position. Vincent Arthur, it's been so long without a win for Vincent. I'm kind of, just like him, we're kind of shocked, but at the same time, it could happen here tonight. This is one of those difficult tracks where Vincent's abilities may pay off. Going to be starting in 3rd spot. Now we get Ronnie Norman. Stormin' Ronnie Norman. Well, right now he can start at the front if he so is able to do so out there during qualifying and not have to storm quite as hard to the front. Just finishing up his qualifying lap here. And that is going to be his lap in. Where will he settle in? How about 10th fastest? At least he can see the front from there. And Dakota Moniz getting in his lap for late Apex Racing. He's going to be starting somewhere around that 15th position. And with that, let's go ahead and take a look at tonight's. We'll take a look here at the points as they stand coming in. There you can see it on your screen with Vincent Arthur still in the lead by a sizable margin over Ronnie Norman, Brady Moats. Brady's got a new paint job as well out there tonight. Matthew George and Robert Christenberry. That's Jake Christenberry. They're in 5th, and Kulikowski holding on to 6th. Kleba, they're in 7th place. And Caudle, Height, and Powell. That's your top 10. You see the drivers in yellow are the ones that are guaranteed in because they've won. And right now, Joshua Curry sitting there on the bubble. Cameron Thompson with a chance at some point to be able to get into those playoffs, but I think he's got to be in the field first, and I don't see him out there tonight. Ryan Bird back in the field, though. That's pretty exciting. We'll take a look at the owner's points real quick. Still the same 3 at the top. No change there, and they're all Chevys with 7 wins to their name, but Flatline Motorsports getting ever so closer to getting that top 3 as well. So we'll keep an eye on that as the season goes on. And now it's time to take a look at how they'll start for tonight's race. Round number 23 here at Loudon, New Hampshire Motor Speedway. So on pole position, you can see it. It's Jacob Malone for Brian Powell Motorsports. He fills in and he scores big. Ryan Bird with another fantastic qualifying effort for late Apex. He's going to be starting in 2nd place. On the 2nd row, it'll be Vincent Arthur starting alongside Brady Moats. And on that 3rd row, Timmy Harper with Blade Timmons. On the 4th row will be Ryan Patty alongside of Tom Senchek. Kyle Rochelle will be on the 5th row, starting next to Ronnie Norman. On the 6th row will be Jake Christenberry, and starting next to him in the 12th spot will be Jacob Gladelich. If you want to take us through the rest of the starting order, Christian?
Yeah, row 7, we got Joshua Curry and Josh Conover, 2 Joshes in row 7. Row 8, we got Dakota Moniz and Justin Moody. Then row 9, we got Brandon Dunford in the 20 and Anthony Mackey in the 54. Behind them, we got Stephen Henning filling in for the 42 car for JRC. Adam Kulikowski not able to start the race. He is trying to join here. And then behind them, Chad Engel and Nick Gillis rounding out the field tonight.
Well, I can see Adam is rolling, but he's trying the all-stealth paint job tonight, and I don't think that's going to work. Nevertheless, could be just a issue that we're having here in the booth with our paints, trading paints. Always so much fun to keep it working perfectly, but we're just about ready to go here tonight, Christian. And once again, these drivers really, the keys here, I think, are, and I'm not sure what happened with Vincent Arthur there, deciding to take a little stray visit, but got to be really careful off of 2. It was absolutely treacherous, and we may be seeing a lot of cautions out here tonight as we did on Sunday night, because this track seems to give out those cautions like they're candy. But 181 laps overall. We'll be doing 3 stages, and we're underway here at Loudon, New Hampshire.
And Jacob Malone with a really good start, and it looked like Brady Moats got a good start too, but here comes Ryan Bird on the inside, going to try to possibly take the lead here from Malone. He gets into him. He turned him. Oh man, this is not a good start. We saw this in Icon.
And we've got more wrecking in the back. I think that's Dunford maybe? No, maybe a little bit further back. Kulikowski. You see Chad Engel, who's just returned back into the fold, and he's just coming back on the track. Christian, this is not how we wanted to start the night.
No, not at all. We saw the same thing happen in the Icon Cup Series. You know, we had a caution lap 1, and then it was just kind of a caution fest from there on out. So hopefully it's not the same here tonight, but let's see what happened on back in the field here. We obviously know that the 17's wrecking ahead, and then it looks like Gillis trying to check up just turns Adam Kulikowski into Chad Engel.
Unfortunate stuff for him, and let's see if we can tell exactly what happened with Jacob Malone. Not sure why the camera does not want to pick up Malone, but here we go.
Yeah, he just gets a little bump there from Ryan Bird and goes head on into the wall. And
You,
I,
I want to take a look at that again. It does look like Malone kind of comes down. He's sitting up there in that third lane, and he starts driving down. He gets down to about 2.5 lanes, and it just looks like Bird did not give him much room at all to make that corner, and as a result, sent him into that outside wall. So, with that, we are under our very first caution of the night here at Loud New Hampshire Motor Speedway. We appreciate everybody joining us over in the YouTube chat room. Javi K, first time watching. What does the R mean after the names and the O? Christian, perhaps you can fill in Javi.
yeah, the R's next to the name means it's their rookie season here in NORA, and the O just means that they're running for owner points and are not eligible for the championship.
So hopefully that clears it up. They're eligible for the owners' points, and so each car carries with it its own owner's points, but not eligible for the drivers' championship, which is the most coveted title here. Of course, we've got the regular season championship. It's got about 5 more races, I think, here in this regular season before we hit the playoffs. And that's always a coveted title right there, to take the regular season championship. But then we'll have the playoffs with 16 drivers and be funneling it down until we get to that final 4 at the end. And then whoever wins that will, of course, take the drivers' championship. So exciting stuff. Of course, everybody vying to get into that pool of drivers that gets into the playoffs here at the end of the season. And of course, we really appreciate you chatting with us and letting us know you're out there, Javi. And hopefully you enjoy the show. Of course, if you're not subscribed, and you might think about doing that, surprisingly more than 50% of our viewers are not subscribed. Feel free to do so. And we're back underway here at New Hampshire. Ryan Bird still in the lead. Got Vincent Arthur holding on in second place, and it's getting already close back there. There's Tim Harper almost getting into the number 6 of Blade Timmons.
Yeah, teammates right there. Blade Timmons comes down right in front of Harper's nose, and that caused Tom Senchek to check up and go to the outside and lost a bunch of positions there. But still up front here, Vincent Arthur trying to get up there and get the lead, and Brady Moats really high up on the track, and now Blade Timmons going to take the position away from him here going into 3. And we have a caution here. So if you're planning on doing a drinking game, I think cautions is going to work out tonight for you.
Hey, that's Conover and Dunford and Gladelich that all got into that one. Not who you want to be getting into a wreck with on lap number 6, the owner of the series. But we'll see who did the wrecking out here. Let's see if we can catch this just before it all took place. This is Jacob Gladelich, who I think was, I'm not sure if he was no, I think Conover might have been a little bit more ahead. So let's take a look at this and see what happened with Conover. Conover just getting loose there, real bad loose, and as a result,
Everyone just piles in, yeah.
Gets into 2 cars. And where did it happen, Christian?
Turn 4. I said it in the beginning of the race. These guys were going to get loose off of turn 4, and it could collect a couple cars. And sure enough, 4 cars involved in that one after Josh Conover gets a little bit loose. It's like I know what I'm talking about, Trevor,
Oh, my goodness. We're so lucky to have you up here in the booth. You could be running strategy for these drivers. You could be in their ears pointing out things. But fortunately, we get to have the great Christian Snyder joining us for these broadcasts and relaying all the great information to all of you kind folks out there in YouTube land. We've got a couple of drivers heading down pit road. That's Justin Moody and Stephen Henning for the JRC Sim team, as well as Jacob Malone, Jacob Gladelich, and Josh Conover all making pit stops due to that damage. And it's kind of, hopefully that's some pretty easy to repair damage on those machines, but you never can tell with the way that iRacing works. Could be could be more of a repair than it seems. And this is a very short track, so you got to get it done and get underway as fast as possible. Keep from going down a lap here.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of issues with iRacing the past few weeks. You know, you could tap the wall and it could be race-ending damage. You could flip over and be able to still continue. So, iRacing being very not consistent these couple of weeks. But you said that I have a lot of information out here, and I do. But I tell you what, I can never use my own information to make me race better, and I don't understand it.
Well, you know, it's such a product of luck and skill and knowledge, and sometimes it works out. Sometimes you think I'm so prepared going into the race. I got all the right answers. I've been practicing for weeks on this one track. I've gone out and done 10 official races. I know exactly what I'm doing, and then you go out there and find out you do not know. You are not equipped to handle the car that night. And here tonight, though, Ryan Bird has already jumped out to an early lead here with Vincent Arthur, Brady Motes, Timmy Harper, and Blade Timmons, your top 5. Kyle Rochelle for Late Apex Racing now jumping up a few spots. And by the way, you're not seeing things out there. The Late Apex team has, in fact, changed the colors of their paint schemes. And Vincent Arthur has a terrible start. He gets sideways and almost takes out Ryan Bird.
Yeah, that was an odd restart there for Vincent. We don't typically see that out of him, but on back in the field, we're looking almost 3 wide there, but Brady's going to cut down in behind Vincent Arthur, try to cross him over going into turn 3. Harper way off the pace. It looked like he had to pull down the track, and he's going to lose 2 spots there to, I believe that's Rochelle and Patty that passed him.
So now Rochelle will settle into that 5th position, Patty into that 6th spot, and Timmy Harper now back here trying to fight back. He's got to watch out those braking distances. Some of these drivers changing lanes, and some drivers choosing to go deep into the corners, some choosing to go a little bit shallow of an entry and then clip down towards the later apex. So you've got to be really, really careful with that. And we saw so many accidents happening in the braking zone. So Tim Harper now challenging for that 6th position again. And he's got Ryan Patty on the ropes on the outside. He's going to try to take that position right now.
Yeah, you can see Harper already. He's got a later braking point. Oh, we got trouble in the back. Dunford and Josh Conover and other cars involved.
Well, they're wrecking here at Loudon once again. Justin Moody and I believe Jacob Malone. So Malone's night has gone from bad to really bad.
This wreck started with Dunford. Now there's another car that wrecked in 3 and 4.
We got Dunford. Is it Guileless?
I think it was Guileless. Okay, so it wasn't Conover that was involved in that wreck. It was Guileless. That's who it started with. Guileless and Dunford.
Well, I've got a note here that before the yellow flag, I see Malone going off track. Now, what happened here to Malone? Oh, they did wreck in front, and that is what sent Malone off track. So I think, was that Guileless and Conover? Who was that involved in the wreck ahead?
That was Dunford that started that one. It looked like he was down low, got loose, and got up into Justin Moody.
So if we can tell exactly...
Yeah, he's already sideways right there.
You got to start him earlier than that. Here we go.
You see it starts to just snap right there. He starts getting a little sideways, saves it, gets back on it. Oh, it's actually Moody that gets loose into him.
Moody does get loose, and nothing he could do to correct it. And this is
something happened up further. Because watch here has Dunford's going through turn. They were going through under caution in 3 and 4, and something happens. I don't know if it was Guileless, but we'll have to see here. As right about now, the caution's coming out. And yeah, Guileless just goes around under caution and hard hit into the wall. That's going to end his night. And I think that was that Harper that just caught into that? It was a blue car, maybe the 54.
We'll have to back it up. We can just back it up right here on the screen.
Yeah, it's the 54 car. Anthony Mackie. Nowhere to go.
Kulikowski,
Yeah,
and then the 54
and that
manages to
green car
tag him.
also got clipped. I believe that's the 51. Yeah, 51 hard into the wall there. The M&M's machine.
Josh Curry, unfortunately, number of these drivers wrecking out of this one, and you know they had all kinds of problems in real life. They've had all kinds of problems on Sunday night. Is this the choose cone? Is that why
Yeah,
they're
that
going
is
there?
the choose cone.
Okay, well that answers that. Choose cone making them take the is that part of the road course? I believe that
Yeah,
is
that's the chicane.
the chicane here at New Hampshire Motor Speedway. So, in case anybody is wondering out there why the cars are weaving on the backstretch and taking unnecessary mileage, that is why. The choose cone in effect here in the NORA Cup Series. And checking in once again over in the YouTube chat room. We welcome all of you who have joined us here recently. Appreciate it. Make sure to smash the subscribe button, and we'd appreciate a like as well. It helps to disseminate this video out there into the ether. We want everybody to hear Christian Snyder's voice out there. Emily Christenberry checking in. Christenberry Fan Club checking in. Let's go racing. All right, we've got at least one from the Christenberry Fan Club. We've got Steven Dombrowski. Hopefully we get green flag racing tonight, and indeed, that's the Ronnie Norman Fan Club, and we've got the Trevor Greenfield Fan Club. Morgan Payfield checking in. Appreciate it, dear. Always great to see that. Javi saying, I don't do drinking games for this track. I raced Sunday on Icon. Wasn't fun. Very slow. Well, matter of perspective. You know, sometimes playing that very, very slow game, methodical strategy, it's like chess. You know, it could take hours sometimes, and whatever it takes for you to get that W is what it takes.
Wow.
And we're underway here. What a shot out of a
Yeah.
cannon Ryan Bird got on that restart.
He might have that grip.exe hacks that everyone, always claims in iRacing, because man, he got a good run, and it looks like one of the Apex cars, I believe that was Moniz, I want to say, or no, that was the who was up front? It wasn't Senchak.
Well, we've got Moniz is shown in ninth.
Yeah, I'm still learning
Rochelle,
these guys' names.
possibly
it was
Rochelle.
Yeah.
Having
Rochelle
trouble
is
there
the
on
red
that
car.
start. So still learning their names and getting the colors
The colors right. Yeah.
set up now. Now that we've got everybody in different color cars, Ryan Bird
Absolutely
out there
love
in
the
his
colors, by the way.
Absolutely. I mean, the paint schemes themselves were great. It was just they were all exactly the same color. It made it very difficult for everybody to tell them apart.
Yeah, now we just got to get used to who's in what color.
Honestly, it was kind of like watching Tour de France for those of you out there who are bicycling fans.
Ooh.
As we get Vincent Arthur getting very close now. He's going to take a shot on Ryan Bird.
Yeah, he got.
And we've
a
got
lot of
another
grip
one
and
around
corner.
back here as well. Believe it's Chad Engel.
Yeah, no caution. He was able to keep it down in the grass and was able to pull out now. But we got a battle for the lead. Vincent Arthur still side by side as he gets loose. He saves it though. He almost went to the inside wall there. But it looks like Vincent can roll the corner a little bit better in the middle of it. You'll see right here, he starts to get a run off, but he gets loose that time, not able to do it. But that last time, he rolled the corner so well that he got to the inside of Ryan Bird and was able to try to make the pass, but still a little bit too loose out there, as now Blade Timmons underneath Vincent Arthur.
Well, I think we've gone 3 laps of green, and this is our longest green flag run of the night.
Don't jinx it, Trevor.
Blade Timmons racing side by side here with Vincent Arthur. Blade now filling in for Harper Motorsports. For those of you keeping track of all of these driver team changes throughout the field, and then you see side by side just behind as well, that's Tom Senchak of Late Apex and Brady Moats of Ready to Wreck. Brady's got a different paint scheme on tonight as well. We'll try to get a close-up on that one. They're side by side between Blade Timmons and Vincent Arthur as they go through the corner. And get news that Brandon Dunford has had to cycle around. He left the pits. He's come back into the pits as well, so his night is not going so great.
Somebody toward the back of the field just got a little bit loose, was able to save it. No caution there. But everyone dealing with a loose car. Blade Timmons, you see, just gets loose there out of turn 4, able to save it, but that's going to allow Brady Moats to go to his outside and possibly make this pass.
That Harpoon design machine just sails right on by.
Oh, he got loose right in front of Tom Senchek. Tom was able to check up and let Brady back in, but that could have been big.
So Brady able to gather it up, and then Tom Senchek there for Late Apex. I guess Senchek gets to keep the original color there at Late Apex of the teal blue. They'll take a look down the inside. This is danger zone right here. As you try to sail it down the inside, cars got to give each other a lot of room here. Make sure you can still make that corner exiting. You know, Christian, you and I were talking ahead of this one as Senchek manages to steal that corner in that position, and now it looks like Harper going to have a shot at Moats here in just a moment. We're talking ahead of this broadcast. It may just benefit all these drivers to just kind of take a little bit out of it and maybe not be as concerned with getting the stage victories done and, you know, just surviving this race. And maybe once you get to the final restart, as we've got one around.
Yeah, that's Christenberry. He got loose. He's able to gather it back up. He's down on the infield road course, but he's able to get back up onto the track now. No caution, as Jacob Gladelich is going to pass him there for 10th place. Or, well, now he's going to retain 10th place and pull in front of Jacob Gladelich. So not too detrimental for Christenberry. He's still in the top 10.
So thankfully able to recover there, much to the relief of the Christenberry fan club that sits in the YouTube chat room. However, losing that position there, unfortunately, now drifting back into 11th spot. But again, as we were just talking about, surviving the key here is making sure you don't punch that radiator in before you get to the end of this race. It's absolutely key.
Yeah, another thing to mention, these guys only have 5 sets of tires tonight, so they're going to want tires every time there's a caution, but you're not going to be able to get them every time. So we've already seen those 3 cautions earlier, as we see someone spinning on the backstretch, but he's able to keep it going, no caution. These tires are wearing off. I think every 5 laps you're going to want tires, but you just can't come get them.
Well, 42 laps is going to be the first stage, 111 the second stage, 181 overall. And you can still see that smoke hanging in the air here at Loudon as Ronnie Norman and Timmy Harper race side by side into turn 3. This is for 6th place on the track. Harper on the inside. Now Harper found his way into a couple of cars on Sunday night, and hey, he wasn't alone. 20 cautions out there. But, I mean, Christian, this track was so crazy Sunday night. We literally watched 4 cars impale themselves on Tim Harper's nose of his car. And he had nothing to do with it. They just got loose and drove across the front of Tim Harper's car.
Yeah, I messaged him after the race, and he was so upset that he had so many incident points from that race, but he was able to, I believe, finish the race, so at least good for him for that. But this battle here, I tell you what, he's not letting Ronnie Norman get ahead of him. Ronnie keeps getting the momentum off the corner, but Tim just staying right beside him. As you see, Ronnie gets a little bit loose. Harper going to be able to nose him here on the straightaway going into 3, but we'll have to see if Ronnie's able to make this outside lane work. He's the only one up there right now.
They race side by side. You can see who's just behind. I wanted to say that was Josh Conover, that 25 so familiar to him, but it's actually Ryan Patty who now enters this fray. Patty got his chance to race with both of these guys in the Icon Series as well. Great to see that cross series participation, but now looks like Harper able to move ahead solidly of these two. He's going to try
Harper
to.
now has his sights set on Brady Moats, trying to get 5th place back from Brady. But the front four are kind of pulled away from Brady Moats. You got Bird, Arthur, Timmons, and Senchek about 2 seconds ahead of Brady Moats.
So you got to start reeling them in if you're interested in that stage victory, and I think it's going to be quite a gap to cover once you get past Brady Moats, but we'll see if it can happen. We've got over in the YouTube chat room, Cody Eldred saying, go Patty. So Ryan Patty bringing his own fan club in. Appreciated. Megan Beadle for the Christenberry fan club here for sure with a heart for Jake Christenberry. So that marks 2 fans for Christenberry as normal here in the NORA Cup Series. Always great to have that participation from friends and family. And take a look up here. This is kind of still a close battle between Blake Timmons and Tom Senchek. This is for 3rd spot.
Yeah, this one's heating up, and also the lead kind of cooling off, actually. Vincent Arthur was up there a little bit closer to Bird, but Bird's starting to pull away. But now you see Senchek starting to use that outside lane here, seeing if that maybe can get a crossover on Timmons there. And you know what I'm noticing? Someone we're missing tonight, Cody Height, not in the race.
Yeah, that is quite interesting. I was thinking that he would be making the start.
Yeah, he's there in points. I think he should be locked in points and will be fine. But usually we see him out here, and we see his fan club coming in here and talking, but not out there tonight for Harper Motorsports. And speaking of Harper, he is able to get 5th place off of Brady Moats and will now set sail and try to catch those front 4, but not enough time here. There's about 5 laps here in the stage, so he's just going to try to hold on to 5th and get those 5 bonus points.
Well, Harper managed to get by Moats, as you said, and Harper in that Sunday race, and a number of these drivers in that Sunday race. Cody Height on YouTube in that Sunday race. I did not get a chance to review his footage from that. Still waiting on my subscriptions to go through that footage.
Oh, Harper into the wall.
I noticed that. It looked like Moats kind of followed him into the wall there, but everybody kind of recovering. I'm just being honest. If Height got taken out a couple of times in that race, if he just said, I hate this track, I don't want to race it anymore, I wouldn't blame him. I honestly would not blame any of these drivers if they just said, I've had enough of New Hampshire. I need to give it a rest.
I've had enough of New Hampshire since, like NASCAR the game back in 2013. So I've never liked this track. I've always said for years it needs to be destroyed or changed, like something different. But, some drivers like it. It's a driver's track. And, I'm typically the type of guy that likes the full throttle tracks. So,
well, I think Moats possibly going to have a look. You saw just behind Patty having a look as well. Patty able to steal that position from Norman, who's starting to fade back off of this front 4. Moats tried to give that a shot, wasn't able to do so. Christenberry tied up in a battle back here for 10th place as well, with Kyle Rochelle and Jacob Gladelich just trailing this group. And then you got Kulikowski back here. It looks like Josh Curry may have gone off track, and now he's a bit slow on the backstretch. So he does manage to bring it back together.
Yeah, he's got to get going because the leaders are coming up behind him, so he might get lapped here as we're coming to get the white flag in the stage.
So Ryan Bird about to see the white flag on the stage. He's got Vincent Arthur about 4 or 5 car lengths back. Nice solid run for him. I see that Moody also having a trouble floating around here near that chicane for the choose cone. It's not time for the choose cone though yet, Christian.
No, it certainly is not, and you don't want to be down there, but good of him to stay down as low as he is and not bring out a caution. He knew if he would have went up in front of the leaders, it would have brought it out. So good heads up call by him to stay low and let these leaders battle it out for the stage. And speaking of which, Ryan Bird crosses the line, and I believe the caution will be coming out here very shortly to end it, and he will get those 10 bonus points for winning the stage.
Indeed, he will. Ryan Bird going to be getting those top points. And Vincent Arthur in second, Blade Timmons in third. Of course, it's actually lap 42, so he's got to go one more lap. Here we go. This lap did not make any difference as the cars have all gotten a little bit spread out here in this first stage. And I dare say, Christian, I don't know how many laps of green that was, but I would say that was a good 20 to 25 laps of green that we did there. That was pretty exciting stuff.
Yeah, it was a pretty good long green flag run, and these guys kind of calmed down, got their head straight, and understood that they can't drive as hard as they want to with these tires and this setup. So, real good job for everybody. We did see a couple of self spins there, but iRacing being relaxed tonight and not throwing the caution as loosely as they were on Sunday.
Well, we're going to take a momentary break here on VirtualRacing.Network. Everybody just stay right where you are, unless you're heading to the fridge to grab some ammunition for the caution drinking game, in which case we'll see you right back here in just a moment. Welcome back here on VirtualRacing.Network, and we're so pleased to be able to chat with the winner of stage number 1. In fact, it is Ryan Bird for Late Apex Racing. Hey, Ryan, this is Trevor Greenfield up here in the booth. You got me, my friend?
Yes, sir. I got you.
Hey, awesome job. You kept your head cool and calm and composed for that whole first stage, despite some early cautions. You managed to steal that stage win. How's it feel out there?
It's pretty good, pretty slick out here. I was a little unsure what happened on that first lap caution, but I'll have to look at it afterwards and see. But it's pretty slick out here, especially if you venture off your line. It's just sideways, like ice racing out here.
Well, what do you got to do to keep that pesky number 24 Vincent Arthur behind you?
Hopefully just what I've been doing, keep managing the tires and try to beat him on corner exit every lap like I have been. That's been the big thing. He's really good on entry, but I'm beating him on exit so far, so I'll have to see what happens.
Well, we're looking forward to it. It's been a good show so far, and that purple Late Apex machine's looking good.
Thank you.
Good luck. So that's Ryan Bird of Late Apex Racing, and we've got a lap car that's still in the way out there, Christian. We're about to go back to green here, but
No, he'll get the wave around this lap and get around the pace car, and then they'll go green next lap here. But that is Chad Engel. He is multiple laps down, just trying to get one of his laps back here.
Taking that wave around, the good old lucky dog. He'll send it around, and Ryan Bird going to be bringing it back to the green here. So what's been your take here tonight? What's been different from Sunday night to tonight?
I think it's just calmer heads right now. These guys understand that this setup is very, very loose, looser than what the guys on Sunday were dealing with. So they're just taking it easy and able to keep this thing clean and green.
Well, we'll see how this plays out in the long run. In the meantime, Marcy Broad checking in. Go Henning. So we've got a new fan in the crowd. Always great to have somebody new joining us. Thanks for joining us, Marcy. And Stephen Dombrowski says, new drinking game for the hardcore folks only. Every time a car spins, take a drink. That is...
Oh,
every time
that's
a car
more
spins.
than the cautions.
I mean... Indeed, you got to know what you're doing when you play that heavy. Ryan
we'll
Bird.
pick you up off the floor, Steven.
Exactly. If you're just typing random characters at the end of this race, we'll understand. Vincent Arthur doing everything he can to not let Ryan Bird get away on this start. Is Arthur going to try him here into turn number 3?
Yeah, and on back in the field, they're still 2 by 2 by 2, about 3 or 4 rows deep. You can see it right there at the bottom of your screen. Harper and Tom Senchek starting that one. Then you got Ryan Patty inside of, I believe that was Brady Motes, but battle for the lead. Vincent Arthur still looking low. Here he comes into the corner. Not making contact, but getting as close as you can without touching him. He's going to have a rundown on the backstretch here.
Oh, and
no,
Arthur goes around.
Oh.
Vincent,
He is taking it behind the wall.
We're going to have to take a look at that in just a moment. We actually stay green here. And Vincent Arthur gets loose coming off of the corner. This is just some of the craziest stuff I've seen this week here at New Hampshire Motor Speedway.
Yeah, we talked to him last week, and he was not happy about finishing second place. And now he has another issue, and before he could even hit the inside wall, I think he left the session. So
Alt F4'd out of this.
Yeah, he's not happy about that, and we'll see him next week at Pocono, and he's been really good at Pocono, so hopefully he's able to rebound next week. Because we got contact here, Ryan. I believe that's Tom Senchek.
Yes,
yeah.
Indeed. Tom Senchek.
I believe that was Harper that got into him.
So Senchek sent up the track, and now we got 3 wide into the corner just in front. That's Brady Motes leading it 3 wide, and Harper in the middle. Ryan Patty on the outside. Harper goes around.
He was the meat in the sandwich and just got ricocheted off of both cars and got sideways there.
Henning, who has his fan club intact with us, just manages to get through that one. So we've got a couple of things to cover here. First of all, this was a couple of moments ago. Let's understand exactly what took place here for Vincent Arthur as we exit the corner. He's on that inside line, and Christian, he just alt F4'd. He just knew what was coming next, and he just decided, nope, not doing it, not doing it. Let's go ahead and see if we can tell exactly what happened here for Tim Harper as he decided to...
This thing starts middle of the backstretch almost.
We should back it up a little bit further because it escalates, really. I mean, Brady Motes is 3 wide on the inside, Tim in the middle, and Ryan Patty there on the outside.
Well, back in 1 and 2, he also made contact, so it kind of started back there, too.
We'll go back. We can go back further.
Yeah, he gets into Senchek right here. So this is where it starts. He gets into Senchek a little bit, gets him loose, and that allows the 25 and 15 to get a run, and that's what puts them 3 wide here. And you can see, as they're 3 wide going into turn 1, Tim Harper just becomes the meat in the sandwich here.
Sort of
goes up.
The ping pong ball between 2 ping pong rackets.
Yeah, he just slid up and got into Ryan Patty and then got a little bit loose, and then Brady somehow didn't touch him and was able to avoid that one. If Harper got into Brady, that would have been a lot worse.
Well, watch this one play out from Kyle Rochelle's point of view. Not really much he could do about it. We'll take a look one more time. This will be from Dakota Moniz' point of view as he slid right through this one. There's Ronnie Norman on the outside. See it happening.
Good avoidance there.
See one more time with Tom Senchek, another late Apex driver. Multiple late Apex drivers kind of catching the brunt of this one. Just escaping that one.
Yeah, I think that's Moody ahead of him. I think he's the only one that got contact, or that could be Jake Christenberry. Yeah, that's Jake Christenberry that does make contact with Harper, but you can see here Harper goes around, gets contact from Christenberry, and then is able to go back straight here as Josh Conover comes into it and almost gets into him, but is able to check up in time, which story we didn't mention, Josh Conover in that number 8 for Matthew George, who usually drives it. He was suspended this week for reaching the max cause caution, so he'll be back at Pocono in that number 8, but Josh Conover decided to fill in for owner's points in that number 8 this week.
That's a good point. I didn't put 2 and 2 together that George was skipping this week, and therefore that's why Conover was moving over to that number 8. I'm just so used to seeing him in that Hendrick 25. This happened earlier in the season, and every time I look at that car, I just think Josh Conover. But Ryan Patty doing a solid job, as you would expect, out there in 3rd spot. How about Blake Timmons? The job that he's doing for Harper Motorsports up there in 2nd, and of course Ryan Bird putting on a fantastic show once again here. He's been an absolute phenom here in the NORA Cup Series since his debut.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what Blake Timmons can do. We don't usually see him up toward the front. Usually he's a top 5 car, and now he's got a chance to possibly take the lead here. Let's see if maybe New Hampshire's the time that he can get his win, as we are back under green. And again, Bird with a fantastic start, and now you got Ryan Patty going into 2nd place here.
Wow.
Driving it deep in there.
Sending it in deep. Heck of a run into 2nd, and now is Patty going to take another look down to the inside momentarily for that top spot? No, in fact, Bird able to flap a little bit faster and stay out in front for this moment. Patty is going to stay hot on his tail, and then in 3rd is Blake Timmons. Looking back here in 4th, Kyle Rochelle still hanging on for that late Apex team. Jake Christenberry is now taking 5th place away from Ronnie Norman. So Norman back to 6th, and Christenberry back up into the top 5.
I see what you did there with the flap into the lead. That was pretty good. It deserves one. It deserves one. 2nd place, Ryan Patty, trying to work on Ryan Bird. The 2 Ryans up front here, but Timmons, he fell back 1 spot. He's kind of losing a little bit of ground here, and Rochelle's kind of catching up to him. So we'll have to see if maybe Timmons doesn't have the tires quite yet. They did pit for the stage, and they should all be on the same tires. So I don't think Blade has run the tires off just yet.
Well, if we get this opportunity, why don't we go ahead and jump on board now with Ryan, Patty, and Christian? Why don't you take us around here, New Hampshire Motor Speedway?
But you can see that you got to brake pretty early on the straightaway in order to get into the corner, and he's going to run that bottom line where that groove is. You'll see it darker on the track, and that's where you want the tires to be, is where that rubber is. And as you go into turn 3 here, again, you got to brake pretty early, get low, let the car drift up a little bit, and then turn back down to get a good exit off the corner. And that's pretty much a lap around New Hampshire. I mean, these guys, it's different brake biases to get into the corner. That's why you see some people driving in deeper than others. They have better brake bias control, so that's the difference maker getting into the corner and racing this track.
Well, and of course, that all makes a difference too. You may be able to get in a little bit deeper with those, moving that brake bias towards the rears, but that's going to heat up those rears as well, make it easier to spin coming off of the corners. I did notice that you mentioned you kind of, you want to be a little bit lower in the middle of the corner so that you can ride the car out on exit, and if you can ride it out, that certainly does help to keep the car from trying to come around on you. So a lot of different tactics that you can employ, as you saw Ronnie Norman sideways there coming off of the corner.
Yeah, he scraped a wall coming off it too, and then pulled it off and got a little bit loose. He's able to keep it in the same position he was when he scraped the wall, so didn't lose anything. Still sitting there in sixth place as another caution comes out. We'll have to see who it is. It is Stephen Henning in the 42. Not much damage, so I think he just went around here. We'll have to take a look.
Indeed, our only international driver, Canadian Stephen Henning, joining us here in the NORA Cup Series. Let's see if we can tell exactly what took place here for Henning as we can get overhead and take a look. Looks like he's already loose by that point. Let's see if we can pinpoint. Oh, it's on entry to the corner.
I think you mentioned it. He probably went a little bit too low on the brake bias, got onto the brakes and kind of wheel hopped a little bit and goes around here. But no contact with anyone. Yeah, no contact, so he is fine. We'll be able to keep that thing going.
Well, he was running at the tail end of the lead lap, and, Henning just joining the series, of course, you're running in the race and you're saying, how can I find a little bit more time? I'm at the tail end of the lap. I want to be able to gain some positions before the end of this one. And, you start playing with that brake bias. You start saying, okay, I think I'll move it a little bit further back, see if I can go a little bit deeper into the corners. And especially if you find a little bit of traction. Now, we've got everybody coming down pit road here, Christian. The only two staying out, Ryan Patty and Josh Conover. Everyone else is seeing the pits and getting some new rubber and fuel, I would imagine.
Yeah, I told you earlier, these guys are going to want tires every time they can, but Ryan Patty and Josh Conover, and I believe Harper as well, understanding that there's a limited tire set, they're going to save a set for late in this race if there's a late caution. So just keep a note of that Patty, Conover, and Harper may have an extra set of tires waiting for them at the end of this one.
Absolutely. Harper, that time, Timmins, Christenberry, all sub 10 seconds in their box, meaning that most likely they did not take tires whatsoever. Certainly Harper and Timmins most likely just filling up their machines. So as a result, I mean, that's basically, a free reset on your strategy out there. So why not, go in, take a little bit of fuel. You see some beating and banging going on out here. What's going on between Blade Timmins and Harper out here?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think that was actually Blade Timmins getting into Josh Conover. And now Harper showing his displeasure with Conover.
Oh,
I don't know what's going on here.
This is something. What are we, you got your ear to the train tracks there, Christian?
I am not sure. That is,
all I know is you don't want to go out there and mess with the series admin, and that would be Josh Conover. It doesn't...
Yeah.
I mean, Tim was under heavy probation earlier this season. Getting into some serious altercations, and he's kind of gotten away from that, but you can certainly get hot under the collar. This is not the way that you want to race into the championship. You want to race into the playoffs. You want to take races like this one with stride, and I don't know. I can't blame him.
We've seen this in real life, though. We have seen this in real life. What happened was Blade Timmins got up to Josh Conover's bumper and kind of bumped him a little bit. Josh brake checked Blade then and hit him in the front bumper. And then Harper, the team owner of that number 6 car, went up and showed his displeasure. If you remember back, Dale Earnhardt Jr. actually did that before for his junior motorsports team. Someone bumped Brad Keselowski under caution, and he went up there and showed his displeasure. So that was the same exact scenario. So kind of funny that happened, but we'll have to see if under green that comes to fruition and maybe Josh Conover gets sent here. Hopefully not, but obviously 2 people not happy with him behind him.
Well, teammates Patty and Conover going to be starting at the front, and just behind 2 teammates, Harper and Timmins. So here we go again. It's Patty out to the early lead, restarting on lap number 88. Just behind, they are still stacked up. It's Harper, Conover racing side by side here for that second position. Conover pushes up the track. Harper steals that position, moved Tim Harper up into second place. Conover now
Harper
sliding backwards. It looks like Timmons coming forward.
Yeah, well, Conover got that damage earlier in the wreck, and he stayed out, so he's just going to lose some positions here with that damage. And then you got fresh tires with Ryan Bird coming underneath him now, trying to get up in front of Timmons and Harper, who also are on old tires. So we'll have to see if those 4 tires work out for Bird as he gets real loose there. Tires are still cold. Can't get too much throttle on it.
2 late Apex drivers almost take each other out. Sends Kyle Rochelle up the track, and I believe also Ronnie Norman back there. Jake Christenberry now trying to get up into this mix. So quite a few drivers having to work their way around the drivers that are struggling. This is all.
Christenberry was the one that actually shot up the track. He almost got into the wall, but it was able to keep his position here. As now he works underneath Josh Conover there in the 8. He's going to slide in behind him now.
So as we check in over in the YouTube chat room, it does say that Just Cam TV not able to run tonight. Let's go Harper Motorsports. And
yeah, that's Cameron Thompson in the 2. He's on the edge of making it to the playoffs. So this is unfortunate that he wasn't able to make it into the race.
I know,
I think
for real.
He's 12 points out.
And there.
Oh, Christenberry, save it. He does.
He just saves it on the backstretch. That was almost total disaster for Christenberry. And we do have someone around.
That's Rochelle in the 27.
Rochelle sitting backwards in the 27. Now he'll get that one fired up again. Back underway. I misspoke earlier. Of course, it was lap 68. Now we're on lap 70. Looking at the wrong column there. Rochelle able to get it going again. Let's see what happened here to Rochelle.
Looks like it's going to be another possible self-spin, yeah. Just going to
self-spin.
get heavy on the brakes and go around.
Fortunately, nobody collected in this one except for Rochelle. So he'll get that one fired up again. And definitely, Cameron Thompson, you got to get out there, my friend. You are right in the cusp of making the playoffs. But you got to get out there and get on the track and get some of these points. Hopefully we can see you for some future races. Now we've got Tim Harper leading a couple of cars. That's Conover down into the pits. Remember, Harper gambled by not taking tires. He just took fuel on the last stop. So technically this will be a little bit shorter of a pit stop if he doesn't need to take a full fuel load. Anthony Mackey, part of this group. Josh Curry, Josh Conover, and Stephen Henning. So Henning still on that lead lap for the Henning fan club. Marcy Broad.
Just want to update Cameron Thompson. 12 points out. And the cars that he is battling are Joshua Curry and Anthony Mackey, who are both here. And behind Cameron is actually Tom Senchek. He's only about 70 points back, so he's gaining on him as well here tonight.
Absolutely no drop weeks allowed. So as we were just talking about, you got to get out there, Cameron. You got to get them points. Nick Eilis checking in saying, "Go Vince. My car decided it wanted to run the road course. I cursed him." So I don't know, Eilis. Guileless. Seems like we say this every race. But Nick, always more almost happy if he's taken out of the race. He's in the playoffs, so it's not like he has to get out there and race during the races. But he's also needed to admin, as he is one of the race control here for the NORA Cup Series. So always great to have an extra set of eyes overseeing everything. And at a track like this where we've got lots of cautions, some potential fault, easy to assign, definitely always good to have a second set of eyes out there.
Yeah, and he's in the playoffs in the truck series. He's running for owner points out here. But I believe that 3-car is in the playoffs for the owners championship. So he's going to have to defend that once we get into the playoffs.
Well, Patty and Timmons going to be the drivers to start at the front for this restart. Bird and Senchek will follow for the late Apex team. And Ronnie Norman and Brady Motes going to be starting 5th and 6th. Dakota Moniz back up there in the top 10 in 7th place for late Apex. And Tim Harper still part of this top 10 in 8th. Jake Christenberry and then Stephen Henning in the top 10. So after early struggles, he's right there and still has a chance at this one. So it's, Christian, again, sometimes you get the luck of maybe some other drivers having to pit or, multiple cautions in a row, and you can come in, get your damage repair, get the right set of fuel and tires and everything, start coming back through the field. You never want to give up on one of these races. I mean, certainly if you get like 10 laps down, it's kind of hard to make up that kind of distance, but just one lap down or at the tail end of the lead lap, hey, you got to keep fighting.
As we come out of turn 4, pace car pulls off, and we are back green here. Ryan Patty, a great restart here over Blade Timmons, and he's got Ryan Bird with the freshest tires behind him underneath his teammate Tom Senchek. So we got to see if those tires come into play here coming out of turn 2.
Well, Timmons, no trouble there in 2nd place, but right now Senchek and Bird teammates kind of scrapping for position there.
There was a little bit of contact on back. Tim Harper into the back of Moniz, but he's able to keep it straight. Looked like Harper drove a little bit deeper into the corner. And now Ronnie Norman finding himself in the top 5 for the first time tonight.
Norman joins that top 5 of the group. Motes now trying to take a look on the low side on Norman. Just taking a peek there, assessing the situation. And is he going to try here coming through the corner? No, he's going to settle in, but possibly he'll have a look here on the next lap. Ryan Patty, though, able to hold down the lead. Does look like Timmons and Senchek might have something to say about it before too long, though.
Well, here comes Ryan Bird underneath Tom Senchek. I'm not sure if Senchek also got 4 tires. You may have that information there, but if he does, then maybe those 4 tires will help him try to catch up to Blade Timmons and Patty.
Well, I do show 1487 in the box, which seems to be pretty close to what everyone else was running, and I can't imagine. I believe that's a 4-tire stop. So 4 tires for him and a little bit slower of a box time for Ryan Bird just up in front. As we watch on here, nothing has changed in those top cars, but it's still very close here, the top 5. A little bit of action a little bit further back. It's Tim Harper and just behind Josh Conover running side by side with Jake Christenberry.
And that was real tight there into turn 1 there between Conover and Christenberry. And now Christenberry going to come down in front of Kyle Rochelle and get into that top 10 spot there. Conover and Christenberry both rebounding from earlier incidents, so good for them to be back up into the top 10.
So Harper now looking under Moniz. And he'll possibly take that position, though Moniz roars back on the outside. Nope. Harper going to do the late break maneuver and steal that position mid-corner.
Yeah, Harper has that late break mentality for this track. We saw it become an issue on Sunday, but so far tonight, not an issue as of right now.
So
it's
now,
almost contact back there, Christenberry and Rochelle.
Indeed. Christenberry not really getting off the corners every single time as fast as others are expecting him to, but there you see he just really pulls the other cars mid-corner. So he's got some interesting tactics out here. As you see, it looks like Bird and Senchek racing now side by side for that position, and Ronnie Norman looks on trying to capitalize.
Yeah, Ryan Bird with the shallow entry there, trying to get a run off the bottom. It's going to help him here. Let's see if he's able to take it in turns 1 and 2. as no, it looks like Senchuk going to drive in a little bit deeper into the corner, but lets his teammate by here. I think that was just simply letting off the gas a little bit more than usual and just letting his teammate by.
So they'll re-rack this one between the late Apex teammates. And up in front, Ryan Patty still holding on. He's been doing a fabulous job. He stole the victory Sunday night. And I think it was kind of a surprise because he had numerous issues through the race, but managed to dominate that final segment. Now here tonight, he's taking everything that he learned Sunday and bringing it to the fore. Able to lead this one over some really talented competition. Now, Blade Timmons was also there Sunday night representing Harper Motorsports. Blade qualifying up at the front, but not quite having the same sort of success overall that Ryan Patty was able to have, though making frequent appearances up in the top 5. So not really a surprise to see Blade racing as well as he is. Patty gaining 6 positions tonight to move up into that top spot, and Blade up 4 spots so far here at Loudon.
You know, these other drivers in the field that run for NORA that don't run an Icon, you got to look at this and see that 2 Icon guys who ran this track earlier this week are up front, so that time that they had on Sunday is helping them here on Tuesday. So you got to wonder if maybe more NORA guys are going to say, you know what, I might have to go over to Icon, race a little bit, and prepare myself more for Tuesdays.
Well, you see that in real life too. It's always about seat time. There's a reason why a lot of drivers would run the Xfinity race before the Cup race, just to get that extra seat time, see if they can figure something else about the track and how it races, even though the cars are a little bit different. In this case, the car's exactly the same, and certainly the track exactly the same. Maybe a little bit different on the temperature, but you also got to say Ronnie Norman was out there on Sunday night as well. Timmy Harper was out there, and we know Josh Conover was at least watching along. So a lot of these drivers keying in, and certainly worth noting about the ways to overcome how slidey this track really is off the corners, just what you have to do to survive the long runs here in Loudon, New Hampshire. Ryan Patty out to the lead here at Loudon, and he's doing a fabulous job, but he has not been able to escape Blade Timmons.
Yeah, Blade just kind of running the same times as Ryan Patty, maybe like a tenth slower or faster each lap. So these two kind of know the track from Sunday, like we talked about, so they're running real well. But Ryan Bird actually coming and catching up to Blade Timmons. So those tires may be starting to help them.
Certainly,
he's reeling them in.
The new tires starting to help Blade Timmons that last time not taking those tires. And we'll have to see whether or not Blade starts backing up. But we do have a yellow out. I believe it's Henning that's come around. And he sits sideways there. I'm wondering if we're going to see that this wasn't the same sort of issue as earlier. Perhaps a little sideways in the corner. And it is, in fact, that way.
Yeah, he just throttled up there on the bottom and got a little sideways and trying to avoid him there. I couldn't tell who that was. I think that was Moody trying to avoid him there. Almost got into him, but was able to avoid.
Indeed, taking a look from Moody's point of view, this isn't what you want to see. You're engaged in your race, all of a sudden smoke right up in front, and he's stopping right in the middle of the track. You literally do not know which way to go, up or down, but you got to choose one, otherwise you're going to plow right into that car in front.
Yeah, at last second he chose to go high, and that was a good decision because at that point Steven let go of the brakes and went down half a lane, and that allowed Moody to get by without any contact.
Well, with that self-spin, that's not going to hurt Henning too much. Be able to get in, get you tires, get going again. We're going to take a quick break here on VirtualRacing.Network. We're going to be right back with lots more green flag action running to the end of this second stage. You won't want to miss it. Stay tuned. welcome back here on VirtualRacing.Network. I'm Trevor Greenfield, and I'm joined here in the NORA Cup Series broadcast booth by Christian Snyder, who is running a team here in the NORA Cup Series called the Full Send Motorsports team. Unfortunately, doesn't have any drivers out there running any cars this week, but bringing all of his insights, and it's been a lot of fun doing this whole season with you, Christian, so far. And of course, everybody who's out there, you're not subscribed, hey, we got the whole playoffs for the NORA Cup Series and Truck Series coming up, as well as the Icon Cup Series. You're going to want to be subscribed to VirtualRacing.Network. Make sure you do, and make sure to like this video if you can, because it'll help to spread it out there. We'll get even more folks in that YouTube chat room. We're back underway here on lap number 92. It's Ryan Patty out to the early lead, but not a really sizable lead this time. Blake Timmons able to get into second. Ryan Bird holding on to that third spot.
Yeah, Ryan Bird holding on to the third spot. He's going to want second and first because he's got those fresher tires. I'm really surprised that he is not already back up into the lead. So that just shows that tires may be not as much of a factor tonight as I initially thought.
Well, Bird kind of staying put, and he's going to think about how he wants to fly forward and perhaps try to take some positions, take himself up into the lead. But right now, more than content to stay there in that third spot. We looked at this race going on a little bit further back. This is Josh Conover, Ronnie Norman. Ronnie was up there in fifth, and now he slipped back to seventh spot. Now we see a little bit more action happening behind as
Conover loose.
Very loose there down to the inside of the track. He recovers and brings it back again.
I was about to say a couple cautions ago, Conover came into the pits and got 4 fresh tires when everyone else stayed out. It was after, almost an issue there for the 05 and Mackey there. It looked like the 05 of Dakota Moniz got loose and almost down into Anthony Mackey.
Well, this top 3, though, has not budged. Patty, Timmons, and Bird, and it seemed like this is just the way that they're going to run. I do wonder, though, as we get closer to that lap number 111 stage cutoff, whether we're going to start to see some of these drivers pull some tricks out from their sleeves. Tom Senchak for the late Apex team drifts well up the track. Brady Moats sizes him up, smelling some blood in the water there, Moats is. But Senchak drives it off and gets a nice run down the straightaway. So kind of diamond shapes that corner. But here comes Kyle Rochelle down the inside of Josh Conover for 8th place. Rochelle.
It looks like Conover going to be able to defend that using that outside lane.
It's starting to perhaps change a little bit now that we get so rubbered in and drivers get more used to how to get the cars off of turn 2 and off of turn 4. I do wonder if we're going to see a little bit more diamond-shaped corner running here than what we have been seeing, which is a little bit more of a traditional later Apex kind of style through the corner. There does look like Rochelle.
Oh, issue for Blade Timmons. I think he got loose off of turn 2. Ryan Bird and Senchak now second and third.
So Senchak, this was just a moment ago. Yes, indeed, Bird loose off the corner. Senchak goes sailing on by.
That was actually Blade Timmons that got loose there, and both Bird and Senchak were able to pass him.
So back to the live picture, though. Timmons looking on from 4th place, drifting up the track, and perhaps those tires are starting to drift away on Timmons. But you know, Ryan Patty was last into the pits on lap number 43, so you talk about old tires. Guy's got 19 lap older tires than anybody in this field.
Well, we saw a couple weeks ago when Ryan Bird triple stinted tires at Sonoma. These tires that iRacing has are kind of, I want to say, like glitched out a little bit and take on less wear than they should. So not taking tires sometimes actually can help. You go back out there with warm tires instead of cold and are able to gap yourself a little bit. So maybe it's a blessing in disguise that he stayed out.
Kind of reminds me a bit of what they used to do in the old days, and they still do this in IndyCar and in some other series a little bit, where they'll go out, they'll put some heat into the tires, and in the old days, you might go out there and run almost an entire race on a set of tires, because a set of tires could go, and I mean old days, like the 60s and the 50s and the 70s, the early part of the 70s. You could go out there and get 3 races out of a set of tires. They were that durable. So you might go out there and put half of a race on tires, or you put the whole race on a set of tires, and they still have plenty of life. And just due to that durability, they might be better in the second race than they were the first race.
Yeah, I think the iRacing tires kind of feel that way almost. They shouldn't, but they do.
But they do. Indeed. So, and it's up to these drivers to kind of keep up with that. And it's oftentimes here on iRacing, things don't exactly work the way that they perhaps should compared to real life. We've got Anthony Mackie perhaps having an off track, clipping some grass and doing the choose cone. Now bringing it back on, but not bringing out the yellow, which is always welcome. But yeah, iRacing doesn't always work the way that it should, and you kind of got to know that, as a lot of these drivers, in the Coke Series, for example, they just recently banned weaving down below the apron and excessive weaving, just because it was found that could raise the tire temperature to the point where it was worth doing. Weaving constantly on the track, and so they actually banned that in the Coke Series. But again, if it's within the rules, if it's what's allowed out there, you got to stay on top of it if you're one of these drivers who wants to run at the front. You got to know kind of how those tires work, how their temperatures work, and what the best ways are to save them. This is a heck of a battle going on here right now between Patty and Bird is staying put back there in second, but I mean, it does look like if Patty is to have any sort of issue at all, Bird will be all set to capitalize, and he'll be the top bird in the nest, so to speak.
Yeah, it's the Ryan versus Ryan show up here in the front. We've only seen that in real life one time, and that was Ryan Newman versus Ryan Blaney at a plate race. So we got the Ryan and Ryan show over here in NORA as well.
And it's raging well into the hundreds. We've only got 3 more laps to go here in this stage. So is Bird going to give him a shot? Is he going to try to poke his beak ahead here before the end of this stage? We'll have to watch on and see. Back here, we've got Conover harassing the back of Ronnie Norman. 2 good friends, and Conover always delighting in finding ways of passing Ronnie Norman out there on the track.
Yeah, I think Conover right now wishes that he wasn't here and he was playing Modern Warfare 2. He told me last night they fixed the servers for that game and he's been on it nonstop. So he was regretting coming over here and racing because he wanted to do that. As now you see him go into the grass. I've just jinxed him.
Well,
he saves it though. Kept it going.
Either way, he's in this race and looking to get the most amount of points that he can. Of course, always trying to get that car for owners' points to be as high as it can in the championship and support his teammates out there. Right now, you got his teammate Ryan Patty out doing the most work for Flatline, out in front. And this is really cool because it was just a couple of races ago. I was talking with Ryan about, getting Icon up and running and off the ground with everything. And he's like, hey, I was thinking about maybe coming over and running over there in NORA as well. Who's the guy who owns that thing? And I sent him over into the group, and then manages to find his way immediately onto the top team. I imagine taking victory there really helped him. Was that was that? It looked like one of the drivers back there perhaps having an issue. Was that Senchek? No, that was Timmons.
No, it was actually the green car up ahead of the leaders. That was the 51 of Josh Curry that got loose.
So he'll collect it back together. In the meantime, Patty looking at taking stage number 2 as he continues around here on lap number 110. Just going to have to get around another half a lap, and he'll be able to claim both of the stage victories thus far. Is Berg going to give him a shot on the outside? Is he going to try the crossover move? Not going to be done. It looks like it'll be Patty who will take the second stage. Bird in second. Tom Senchek in third. And we have the yellow out for the end of stage number 2. I think Blade Timmons got that position just before they got to the yellow flag. So good for Blade, able to steal that position there from Ronnie Norman. And we're going to take a momentary break here at VirtualRacing.Network. We're going to be right back and be with you to the conclusion here at Loudon, New Hampshire Motor Speedway. You won't want to miss it. Lots more great racing yet to come. And welcome back here on VirtualRacing.Network. We appreciate everybody joining us over in our live YouTube chat. It's been great to have you with us so far as we get ready to conclude this one. Headed for lap 181, and you saw it here live. It was Ryan Patty who took stage number 2, and we're going to get a chance now to chat with him. Here he is. Hey, Ryan, this is Trevor Greenfield in the booth. You got me?
Hey, what's going on, Trevor?
I am so excited to talk to you. Now, of course, you put in a hell of a show on Sunday night in the Icon Cup Series, and he stole victory there, and it was quite the calamity-filled race. Here tonight, a few less cautions, but you've still managed to work your way through the field, and right now you're currently sitting in second place. You took the stage win. How's it feeling out there?
It feels good. Setup's a little bit different. We're shifting today. Well, not always, but shifting is an option, I should say. So it definitely makes you a little bit more aware of the car getting loose on exit. You probably saw a couple of folks losing it there. It's still just as difficult to drive as it was on Sunday, but I'm hoping for some long runs here. It's a lot of fun once the tires get heated up and the car gets light. Now we're having a blast.
Well, we noticed that you're able to go a lot longer than everybody else on those tires. You think once they get kind of worn in, everything is, it feels good that you can just keep stretching those tires long distances?
Yes and no, I guess. I mean, you got to take care of them still. You can't just beat on them from the start and expect them to be there at the end of a run. So I was taking it really cautious there at the beginning of that run, knowing that it was going to be a long one.
Final key to keeping Ryan Bird behind you and Tom Senchek.
It seems like track position. It's really tough to pass, so I'm just going to try to stay out front as long as I can.
Well, good luck, my friend. Make it 2 this week in a row. We'll see you at the end of this one.
Yeah, here's hoping for no broadcast curse, all right?
No promises.
Thanks.
So that's Ryan Patty joining us here in a live in-race interview. We appreciate all the drivers playing along and being willing to do those with us. Ryan Patty joining us. He's got to do battle for the end of this one, Christian. It's not going to be easy.
Yeah, not going to be easy. And Josh Conover going to take the start here. Wonder if he'll let his teammate by Ryan Patty right in turn 1, and there he goes. Well, he's not letting him by. Patty's just going to take it.
Well, Patty
And,
on those
he's
much
gonna
newer.
set sail.
He's got those much newer tires, able to hold that car along the outside. And still, though, those tires would be cold, so you got to still watch it headed into the corner. But Patty is gone. He's got 5 or 6 car lengths now on Conover as Conover drifts back, and Dakota Moniz now having a moment. If we can get to him. He's somewhere in this field. There he is. Dakota Moniz and I believe Jake Christenberry having an issue. So let's take a look back here and see what happened. This was right after this restart, and there's Christenberry just going sideways, and Moniz has nowhere to go.
Yeah, and that's a big hit for Moniz. You can see that right front buckled up, and he was having trouble steering it away from that crash. So that could be the end of his night. And you can see Christenberry just gets sideways and then hard hit. And you can see that right front there. It was not attached to that 05 car.
Just nowhere to go for Moniz. Easier said than done, but if he just had been able to take a little bit more speed off, he might have been able to go low on that one. But still, because of where he was at, just nothing he could do. A lot of drivers at the back coming in. We got Gladelich, Curry, Moniz, and Kulikowski all finding their ways into the pits. There's Kulikowski in the I want to be incognito in this race machine. Getting a little damage repair done. And Moniz in front. Boy, that's a lot of damage on the front end of that one there, Christian.
Yeah, at least the tire is back attached, but that could be a night ender for sure. And if not, he'll be multiple laps down. But it definitely took him out of the contention for any shot of a win.
Well, Christenberry also there sitting in the pits, and I have a note here also that Moody may be having an issue on the track somewhere. Seems to have it together now. Let's see if we can figure out what happened here. This was under caution. He spins it there under caution and has to get that DraftKings Toyota back together and on the track, and he manages to do so. So we'll take a look here at the top 3 as we reset. This time looks like lights are still on the pace car, so doing the choose cone out there, but Patty is going to be your leader with Tom Senchek in second. Josh Conover will restart in third. Or will he restart in second? I guess he's going to march up there because Senchek decided to stay down to the low side and stay behind Ryan Patty. So Conover able to get into the pits on lap number 112, but he's still sitting there with those older tires because he did not take on tires on that 112 pit stop.
Yeah, he either didn't take tires or took right sides. I'm not 100% sure. I think it was no tires.
Well, it was 6.52 in the box, so I don't even think that's enough time to take right sides. I think about 9 or 10 seconds.
Only.
Yeah. So some different strategy calls here, and of course, all these top guys choosing not to come in on this last caution. But you got Josh Curry back here in 10th. He did take on tires. And, you know, for as much incidents as we've had out here, by the way, Moni's still sitting down there on pit road. We still have 14 cars on this lead lap, so still 14 cars with a real shot at a podium here. And we'll see how this one plays out. Just 61 laps remaining here at Loudon, New Hampshire. Patty is going to lead us back to the green flag. Senchek in second. Conover is going to be racing Ryan Bird in third.
And no team orders on that restart there. I thought for sure maybe Ryan Patty would be saying I'm going now, and Josh would be able to get a good jump, but he's going to lose positions actually. And Blade Timmons now going to take fourth, passing Conover there on the inside. And now he's got company behind him with Tim Harper as well.
So things mixing up quickly as Conover slides backwards, and we've got another yellow. It's Kulikowski. I just
Cautions breed cautions.
They do, and I think just nobody could see him with that all-black paint job. Let's take a look. This is what happened just a moment ago. Oh, looked like a bit of contact there in front. Was that? I think that was Gladelich?
That was Curry on the outside getting into, I think it was Gladelich, but it was definitely Josh Curry. Oh, no, it wasn't. It was Josh Curry getting into Anthony Mackie. Oh, no, that's Christenberry.
Well, Curry then drives up the track and
Yeah.
still having some issues even as he comes back to the start-finish line. So we're going to re-rack him here on VirtualRacing.Network. You don't want to go anywhere because looks like a lot of drivers coming down to take those tires. We should have an exciting conclusion to this one. Just got to get it back under green long enough. We'll be right back. And we're back here on VirtualRacing.Network. Great to have you with us as we are starting to get ready to close this one out here for the NORA Cup Series 2023, round number 23, Loudon, New Hampshire Motor Speedway. I'm Trevor Greenfield. This is Christian Snyder here in the booth joining me, and it's been an event-filled race, as you can see from that number up in the scoring tower. It is This is the ninth incident caution that we've had here tonight, but it's actually been very interesting on strategy. We've got a number of drivers who are capable of winning this race. Ryan Patty, of course, kind of the ringer of sorts, being brought in by Flatline Motorsports. He won in his own Icon Cup Series race on Sunday night, and here he is leading us back to the green flag. So Patty back on the green flag, and here's Tom Senchek in second on the outside for late Apex. He's got a challenger. There's Blade Timmons down to the inside, and he's going to try to take that position, Christian.
Yeah, Blade Timmons now on the same tires as everybody, and we saw him earlier up front, and he's able to make his way back up there. So we're not strangers of this 6 car being up front. Glad to see him back up here.
Timmons showing what he's known for, which is running these cars hard and being up in the front. Right now, holding on to second place. Perhaps he'll have more to say for Ryan Patty up at the front. Earlier I misspoke, of course. Oh, and there is Senchek getting sideways, but it wasn't Senchek getting sideways that was the cause of this caution. It was actually Jake Christenberry, who apparently had a much bigger incident. Let's see if we can figure this one out. Christenberry, middle of the corner there, just gets wicked loose in the middle of the corner. I don't even understand that one, Christian.
Yeah, it just snapped a little bit sideways, and he overcorrects it and goes head first into the wall. And because there were still cars behind him, iRacing will throw the caution for this one, which I do agree with. There were still cars in position to possibly get involved, so caution was rightfully put out here. You see those 2 cars going by right there. So under caution again here tonight. I believe this is our 11th or 10th for cause. 12 total so far here tonight.
He almost had a really sick drift through the corner there. I mean, he was lined up for an awesome 4-wheel drift there, but unfortunately it just bit and sent him sideways. Wonder if that the front end on that machine is messed up at all, though, for the 23 car for the Attica, Indiana driver. Unfortunately, it looks like he's bringing it down onto pit road, as is a number of other drivers. We got Ryan Bird, Brady Moats, Blade Timmons. All these drivers now taking tires, fuel. Kyle Rochelle. A lot of drivers like Rochelle, Moats only taking fuel. Here's Bird taking tires. Senchek taking tires. Ronnie Norman taking tires as well. Josh Curry continues to sit on pit road, so perhaps completing some damage repair. And I'm not sure, but I think Christenberry has had enough.
I believe he has. He has taken it out through the tunnel and is heading home.
Well, he'll send that hauler off to next week at Pocono, and hopefully better luck for him and the rest of the field that really struggled. We got Conover coming back down pit lane.
Yeah, Conover decides to come into the pits. Pits are still open, but this is going to put him in the back of the field for not pitting with everybody. So interesting decision here, but we got a new face up front, Tim Harper. He's now up in second place, so we'll have to see what he's able to do against Ryan Patty here, being that this is the first time he's up in the top 2. See what he's got.
Where the heck did he come from? Also, look at Jacob Gladelich right there as well. Anthony Mackey in 4th. Adam Kulikowski in 5th. This is quite a shakeup here with the way that these drivers have had to make their pit stops. So, quite a few new drivers up here in the front. Gladelich, of course, a Truck Series winner. And I'm sure he'd love to snag a victory here as well in the Cup Series. And Anthony Mackey running for points. And I'm sure he would love himself to be able to snag one. As we take a look there at the point standings, you can see Mackey kind of towards the back end of that group. Safe for the moment on points, but Senchek with no wins, trying to get into those playoff points, and Senchek doing a great job out there tonight. If Cameron Thompson returns to the fold, somebody like Anthony Mackey is really looking to try to potentially get in on a win and just secure that spot, because otherwise there is a chance that he could lose that spot in the playoffs. So a lot of these drivers have a lot to fight for, and of course, Christian, there's always the pride of just knowing that you've won at the top level here in the NORA Cup Series.
Yeah, there's always a pride in winning here in NORA. You know, myself, I have 3 wins, so they're hard to come by. So whenever you win, it's a proud moment.
So we get going here again on lap 132. The green flag is out. Barney, the flag man, sends that piece of cloth waving through the air, and Patty is back in the lead. Harper in second and Mackey in third. There's Harper holding his own there, kind of about a 4-car length lead in front. And we've got somebody around here.
That's the all black 45, I believe.
That would be Kulikowski. And did he get it straightened out? My software not really telling me who it was, but let's see if it was in fact Kulikowski who was spinning back there. Come through the corner, and oh, he gets sent around from Moats, I believe.
He does. Moats got onto his back bumper and just never got off and just sent him around.
Well, I guess Moat's not happy with that paint job on Kulikowski, or perhaps he just didn't see him.
He couldn't see him.
It just doesn't show up in the radar. He's got the
Too
stealth.
dark.
Too dark. He's got the stealth paint job on there. No pings seen from Brady's radar screen. So Kulikowski will make it back to the end of the field. Moody going to head down into pit lane. Or perhaps not. My software telling me he was in the pit lane, but as was, it said Gladelich was as well. Oh, I see. We need to come back to our live picture. There we go. Now we can see everybody pitting. There's Kulikowski. There is Gladelich, Moody. All these drivers now on pit lane taking on service. And I'll tell you what, some of these cars, like you see Moody there, he's got some scrapes and some bangs on this car that are just not going to get worked out. His team just kind of gave up on
as much as he could.
Exactly. At some point, the team just says, you know, it's as good as it's going to get. Just send him back out there.
And just to note that 45 of Kulikowski, he was penalized last week for having the number 7 on his car. And having the wrong number. So I'm curious on how Josh is going to handle this one with having no number on the car at all and no sponsor. So interesting to see. Maybe he might get half points for this race. That's the penalty for running the wrong number. So we'll have to see how it's handled and if he'll get that paint scheme resolved next week.
1,000 years dungeon, I believe, is the penalty. Oh, no, that's the wrong penalty.
Wrong penalty.
Tim Harper hanging on in second place. Could tonight be the night for another Tim Harper win? He's been looking for a little while. Right here, as I said, another feel-good favorite to potentially take victory would be Anthony Mackie. But we've got another couple of drivers in this field. Blade Timmons, who's searching for a win as well. He's already in the playoffs, but he'd love to steal another win. No, actually, I take it back. Timmons not in the playoffs. He's racing for owner points. But Ronnie Norman is in the playoffs, and he's taken a win. But it's been a while since Norman has stolen a win also in this series.
Yeah, it's been a while for him. I think since the first Atlanta, I want to say. It was around then, maybe Auto Club even, that he got the win. But Harper, he hasn't won since Phoenix, and this track kind of similar to Phoenix in a way. It's one of those flat tracks just like Phoenix, so no surprise that he's up here toward the front. Phoenix, another one of those driver tracks, as well as New Hampshire, Darlington. The toughest tracks, it always seems that Harper finds his way up into the top 5.
There is something to that, I feel. Some drivers really excel at those very challenging tracks. And it's... Ronnie Norman also. Ronnie's kind of a survivor. He just seems to be there at the end That it very well could be that Norman could end up in victory lane in this one, but he's got to go through some serious competition out here, including Ryan Patty, who has been just a phenomenal job. But Timmy Harper with a great restart next to Patty, and he's going to send it down into turn 1, but he doesn't quite able to stay side by side there. He's going to look hard, though, coming off of turn number 2.
Yeah, he almost timed that perfect. He jumped just a slight bit early and had to check up, but that was a fantastic restart there for Harper and Blade Timmons, as now Timmons goes, oh, Rochelle around, the 27.
Rochelle takes a trip around. Let's take a look and see what happened here just a moment ago. Rochelle sideways, and somebody, Ronnie Norman, glitched out there. But he didn't get tapped by anybody, I don't think. That looked like just another self-caused incident.
Yeah, he just gets onto the brakes a little too hard and starts wheel hopping, and once it gets loose, it's hard to catch. But really good job by Rochelle to hold the brakes and not collect anybody else there in that corner.
I'll tell you what, take a look from Anthony Mackey's point of view on this one. Coming into the corner. This has got to be scary, Christian.
Yeah, he barely scrapes by. My goodness. That's one of those moments you close your eyes and just hope that you get through.
I can't tell you how many times I've barely squeaked through an incident. You just go, seriously, could there have been a half an inch there? I don't know. Sometimes you're luckier more than it's just skill, but you do everything you can to try to get through these ones. So we're going to take another quick break here on VirtualRacing.Network. And, we're here on caution number 13 or caution number 12 due to incidents. So if you're keeping up, that's 12 adult beverages and, or 12 adult drinks of beverages. So, some of you out there may be slurring your words a little bit, but we'll be right back here with lots more green flag action. Stay tuned. Under caution here with 40 laps remaining at Loudon, New Hampshire. I mean, this could theoretically go green until the end. We'd have a heck of a battle till the end. We've just posted over in our YouTube chat room the question, who is going to win tonight's race? Will it be Bird? Will it be Norman? Will it be Harper or Patty? We can only put so many choices up there. Sorry to leave you out, Blade Timmons, but if you take victory here tonight, I promise we'll never leave you out of another one. But choose from those four, Patty, Harper, Norman, or Bird, and we will read back the final results of this one at the end of the race. We'll see how close you are out there in the YouTube chat land to picking the right answer. But we hope that this is a great battle here to the end. All of you sticking around and watching this race. think we've got a good one in store. It's Ryan Patty. Brings us back to the green flag. And Timmy Harper, Blade Timmons. That's your top three. Here comes Blade. Down the inside. He sends it. And there goes Harper up the track.
That's a teammate. And I think he got into Harper. So that's I mean, Harper was sticking up for Blade earlier in the race and battling with Josh, and now his own teammate takes him out.
Well, that's not just a teammate. That is Timmy Harper of Harper Motorsports. That's taken out the leader of Harper Motorsports. So, interesting turn of events. Perhaps that may affect your voting out there in YouTube land. But Timmons upset, clearly, that we did not include him in the choices. He's going to let us know.
I would be willing to bet that might be Timmons' last time in that number 6 car.
It very possibly could be, because Harper was running an excellent second place there. But Ronnie Norman is holding on for dear life to that third spot, now in podium position. And Ryan Bird trying to challenge on the low side. He'll send it down on the low side, run it that way down the back stretch. Headed into turn 3. He's going to choose to hold down very close down to that apex as Ronnie Norman runs up the track. Now, Norman not getting a good run through the corner at all, and that moves Bird up into the top spot. That time, Ryan Patty setting the fastest lap of the race, a 30.84, and he puts a little bit of a gap between himself and Blade Timmons.
Yeah, and he probably saw what happened on that restart, so he's probably thankful that he's getting away from Blade Timmons. A little bit aggressive into the corner, sends the teammate, and aggressive into the corner again, and now Blade Timmons into the wall.
Timmons into the wall, and he does manage to recover, but Timmons ran it hard into that corner. A little too hard, I think, and managed to take a little bit of concrete. Now
He's sideways again there.
He's got some issues with that machine. He's now drifted back, and he's found his way behind Conover. And guess who that next car is that's going to be coming up to catch him here pretty soon in just about 2 seconds. Oh, there he goes sideways again. Timmons able to just get that car going. Brings it down the track and into the pits. And he's going to park that machine. I think he realizes that is game done for the number 6 machine.
Yeah, he was going to get penalized there because he missed a commitment cone, so that would have held him for multiple laps, and he decided to just leave the session there. So the 6 car not going to get as many points as he would have. But Ryan Patty and Ryan Bird again. Here comes the Ryan versus Ryan show.
Well, you talk about going from hero to zero. That's a rough way to exit the race, but we wish Blade well, and he was certainly having a good run up until that point, so hopefully we'll see him back here again before too long. But Patty and Bird going to fight it out perhaps now for the win here at Loud, New Hampshire. We're just under 40 laps. Just about to come down to about 30 laps to go. Ryan Bird about 10 car lengths back from Patty and starting to close that gap ever so slightly. Ronnie Norman holding on now in that third spot. Tom Senchek for Late Apex Racing in 4th, and Josh Conover in 5th place now. How the heck did how is Josh in 5th? That's miraculous.
He always finds his way up into the top 5 at the end of these races, even with a damaged car. So, impressive run there for Josh Conover.
And you tell me that Josh is actually playing another video game on another screen. It's just...
No, he wants to be.
He's got like the in-car... he's got like an in-car LCD going while he's driving around, and he's like gaming inside the car. But... right now, we are seeing this gap coming down, I think, between Patty and Bird. It's all Bird right now. Last time by, he was about a 10th faster, actually a 10th and a half faster. So Bird starting to really get some momentum. Get that late apex machine flying down this backstretch. Just a real question as to where he's going to land at the end of this race. Will it be in second place or first?
Well, right now, the past few laps, he has been running a little bit quicker than Ryan Patty, so it's going to be interesting to see. Maybe Patty's just saving his tires, but he is there.
Well, as they come off the corner, I think Patty is starting to struggle at this moment. Now, you got to keep in mind, Patty came in on lap 112, Bird on lap 128, so 16-lap newer tires for Bird. Bird really gets a great run off of four, and here comes Bird down the front straightaway. Is he going to try to send it into turn one? He does.
And Patty going to try to arc the corner and get a good run off, but just not able to stay in front of Bird there. I think Bird will easily take the lead here in turn 3 and 4. And no, Patty drives it in deep. I don't know if that's going to stick. Bird, coming up the track a little bit. These guys still side by side, but Bird going to clear him here going into turn 1.
Bird thinks about pulling ahead,
yeah,
but he can't quite do it. Patty just knows how to keep that momentum going around that outside line. Patty still holds it in there on the outside, able to stay there as Senchek wiggles a little bit coming off the corner. They race side by side into 3.
I tell you who's liking this battle, Ronnie Norman. He's starting to catch these guys with them being side by side through the corner.
And again,
he's able to have the entire track. These guys aren't.
This is just the type of thing that Ronnie Norman excels at. He lays back. He's the wily old veteran sitting back there just waiting to pounce. He's the in the catbird seat, so to speak, waiting to try to take this position if these two tangle, as they just did, and he avoids it. Bird goes sideways, and he'll try to recollect that machine on the apron and bring it back up the track. And look who's now into second, Ronnie Norman, capitalizing on that one. Christian, that was something else. That was a lot of side-by-side racing, but eventually it really clipped Ryan Bird's wings.
Yeah, I knew something like this had to happen. I mean, the way that Patty was running the corner, he was getting high entry and coming down the track, and the way that Bird was doing it, he was going low on entry and sliding up, so these two just meet in the middle. As you can see here, the run off of turn 2 is what leads to this here. They are completely side by side. No one's got an advantage. Then Patty starts pulling ahead here. And then you'll see he enters high, starts coming down, has Bird slides up, and they just meet in the middle.
Yeah, and Bird just really didn't have... He was just starting to push up the track. He wasn't really able to hold the bottom any longer, and that was just something else, though. What a great thing to see. Bird's going to be able to get down and get those tires and get recharged again. We may see another battle happen before too long, but it was really cool to see Bird just throw caution to the wind and really just try to take that top position, and he gave Patty everything he could handle. I thought he had Patty covered there a couple of times, but Patty just knew how to hang out there on the outside and hold that position.
And just to note, 3 cars actually stayed out under this round of pit stops here. It's Ryan Patty, Senchek, and Anthony Mackie all staying out on old tires. Ronnie Norman going to be the first one with 4 tires, so it's going to be interesting to see. Is now an issue here for Ryan Bird, maybe speeding in pit road, letting some cars by. I believe he was caught speeding. That is a end of the line penalty. That's not too terrible for him, but he does have 4 fresh tires. We'll have to see where he's able to rebound as he's going to restart in 11th.
Well, we are talking massively different tires here. Lap 112 for Ryan Patty and lap 156 for the rest of the field. Lap 128 for Senchek and Mackie on lap 138. So Mackie, of those top 3, having the newest tires, but I mean, Patty all the way back on lap 112. I just tell you, the guy's got some extra mastery of those tires, those Goodyears on these NASCAR Next Gen machines. I mean, that is just something else to be able to nurse these tires around and not spin, number one, but number two, be able to do it with such old tires. It's incredible. He's obviously, he's found something. I mean, if I can say one thing about these tires on iRacing, it's that once you get them kind of even, I don't know how to say it, like balanced on a longer run, there is some aspect of iRacing that seems to reward that over a longer run. And it's, I mean, I suppose that is realistic, but it is something that I've noticed definitely. If you can get that perfect right balance on the tires and really take care of those tires on the beginning part of the run, it pays off through the whole rest of the run, regardless of whether you're able to make that change, you know, like early on in a run or otherwise. It is a reward that comes to you if you really take care of those tires.
I tell you what, I was chuckling a little bit there under caution because Harper and Conover making more contacts than just a lap ago. So I think at this point they're just having fun with each other. But the green flag back in the air. Ryan Patty with a fantastic restart there, gonna leave Senchek behind here. But we got to see how quick those new tires for Norman pay off, as he's gonna look to try to pass Senchek here for second place.
Well, he's already been able to ward off Mackey thus far, and here he comes trying to take a look down the inside of Senchek.
Oh, he locked up the left front.
He did indeed, and that tells you where his brake bias might be at coming into the corner. Conover and Mackey now battling it out behind. Conover wins that battle, now up into the fourth spot. Here comes Stormin' Ronnie Norman, about to take a look down to the inside, as Tom Senchek does as his team name says, tries to late apex the corner. Ronnie Norman now taking a look. Will he make that move? He's going to hold off for now in that 33 machine, as we're just about to approach 20 laps to go.
Well, here he comes. He got a huge run middle of the corner. He's going to get to the inside of Tom Senchek. Let's see if he's able to do anything here in turn 3. If he's going to slide job him. No, he's not going to quite do that, but he is going to be even with him here coming out of turn 2, and he's got the momentum, and he will clear the 26 of Tom Senchek.
Well, as we're now 20 laps to go, we appreciate Snyder Graphics sponsoring the 20 laps to go segment. Facebook.com/Snyder Graphics, the place to get all of your custom wraps and liveries for your NASCAR machines and just about anything else on iRacing. Get it all done with Snyder Graphics. Facebook.com/Snyder Graphics. And right now, it does look like Ronnie Norman's got the machine to beat, but there goes Timmy Harper into the inside wall. Will he bring out the caution? No, he does not. He keeps that one going.
Yeah, he keeps that one going, and that's unfortunate for Harper. You know, he was running right there outside the top 5, having a good run, and he ends up into the inside wall. That's going to put him in 11th now, and he did bring it into the pit, so he may be done.
In fact, I think you're right. He may be completed for tonight's race. He pulls that thing down pit lane, and driver's just about to come around and lap him. But Patty under attack here from Norman, as is Senchek just behind. Here comes Stormin' Ronnie Norman. Steven Dombrowski's on his feet in his living room. Here comes Ronnie. He's trying to work both sides of Patty. He's showing him just about everything there up in front. And here's Conover now racing side by side with Senchek for third.
Yeah, both Norman and Conover have fresher tires than these two, so these guys are going to make easy work of them. But Norman's pass is going to be a little bit more difficult because Patty, he's not going to let him by easy. But just to note, the top 3, the 25, 33, and 8, all Flatline Motorsports cars. So they are now 1, 2, and 3. Vincent Arthur, the other one that was in this race, is out. But all three of the flatline cars remaining in the top three as Norman gets a little bit loose out of turn two, loses a lot of ground to Ryan there.
Well, he manages to recover his
Ryan gets loose.
As Patty gets loose there through the corner and gives all that ground back to Norman, he'll have to gather it back up. Will look like Norman kind of came out and tagged the wall off of 4. Now Norman to the inside. Not able to do it as Patty stretches back into that lead, but that's going to let Conover catch up. Are we going to have a battle between friends, Norman and Conover? That's the question. Looking over in the YouTube chat, Guylas says, no, me and Josh are definitely playing BO1 right now. Interesting. And it's Otis, which is, that's Brady Motes, says, Ryan Bird caused the caution, received an EOL.
That makes sense.
So there you go. Answers to that. We appreciate you checking in with us.
Well, speaking of Ryan Bird, he is back up to 4th place.
Oh!
Is now Patty into the wall. Norman to the lead now.
Patty finally cracks under the pressure, slides it up into the wall, and slides back into 3rd. And now it's Stormin' Ronnie Norman up to the front. He's going to lead this one with 13 laps to go. Is this Ronnie Norman's race to take? Will Josh Conover be there to challenge? Will Patty be able to gather it back together and challenge these two for the win? I think those tires are finally gone.
Amazingly, I think Conover is just racing with his knees while playing Black Ops 1. That is incredible to hear. And especially being in 2nd place, that is impressive.
Well, he might have, put it on pause for the moment and told Nick, I've got something more interesting to try to do here, especially since he gets another chance to try to put one over on his friend Ronnie Norman. There's always a sense of pride in trying to do that. We'll see whether or not he can do it. Ronnie, his teammate over at Flatline Motorsports, and both of these drivers going to be racing hard. You know Josh is not going to let him just steal this win. Ronnie's going to have his hands full. Just going to be coming up on 11 laps soon. 10 laps to go for the end of this one as Patty slides around there through the corner. That's going to let Ryan Bird back through, and Patty slides up into the wall. Things going from great to terrible for Patty. I think that call to not make tires is coming back to haunt him.
And I tell you what, this battle up front, this is going to be an amazing battle for the last 11 laps because all 3 of these cars on the same tires, Ronnie Norman, Josh Conover, and Ryan Bird. We saw Ryan Bird win stage 1, Ryan Patty win stage 2, and Ronnie Norman and Josh Conover haven't been up front much, and now they're in control of this race.
Ronnie Norman has played it so well throughout this race. He's got just 10 laps remaining to try to take victory here. Of course, got to get through this one without caution, stepping up there and throwing everything to the side, having to do the green-white checkers and all of that, but we'll see whether or not we can stay green till the end. It's been a nice, long, healthy green flag run this time. Conover holding on in 2nd place, and Ryan Bird now he's in launching position. He possibly could fly up to the front from there. This is pretty close for Bird.
Yeah, this is going to be a heck of a battle. Conover isn't going to take it easy on Norman, as you said, but Ryan Bird's driving a little angry because he was in control of this race and was battling with Patty, goes around, gets penalized, and now he's coming back. He's driving mad, so it's going to be interesting to see if maybe Bird moves these guys and tries to get the win that way.
So you'd say that he's in fact an angry bird.
Okay.
So Ryan now trying everything he can to catch Josh Conover in that number 8 machine just up in front. I'm surprised you haven't mentioned this, Christian. 6 Chevys. Currently your top 6 at the moment. But Bird looking on to the back of Conover, and he's just going to try to do everything he can to try to squeeze in there perhaps and steal the 2nd place away from Conover. This is going to happen, I'm sure, here within the next several laps, as Bird has been closing ever so much each and every lap on these front 2.
Well, it's one thing to catch them; it's another thing to pass. Passing at this track has been difficult. We've seen it before. Be about 3 laps side by side. So if Bird's gonna make a move, he's gonna have to make it real quick here, because Conover is gonna be able to defend that position using that outside lane.
I'll tell you what, this is just about a feather's width distance between the rear bumper of Conover and the front nose of Bird. Just a feather separating these two as Bird takes a right-hand turn and punches the wall. He does not bring out the caution, but there Patty trying to pick up the pieces. That was just something else.
Man, just overcorrected it a little bit too much and goes into the wall, and you can see that damage making him severely tight in the next corner, and he gets into the wall again, because that's going to allow now Patty, Senchek, and Gladilich to get by into the top 5 here.
Well, Barney,
now I think Ryan Bird's going to maybe bring this down pit road. He may have a black flag for too much damage.
He might be seeing that meatball. Last time by, it was the high five from Barney the Flagman. Just about to see this one change up in... I mean, this has changed complexion so many times. We've got Ryan Patty back into 3rd, Tom Senchek into 4th. Jacob Gladilich right now doing a great job for the JRC Sim team, holding on to a top 5 finishing position at the moment. And Anthony Mackie for Prestige TRD, this would be one of his best finishes of the whole season, up 12 positions. Kulikowski, despite all those issues tonight, he may only get half points, but he'll get 7th in the finishing order if he can keep it right where he's at. Justin Moody back here in 8th place. This would be one of his best finishes also for Prestige TRD. In fact, make that 3 Prestige TRD drivers up in the top 10 with Josh Curry here in the 51 in 9th place.
Yeah, all 3 having a great run here, and Norman and Conover are going to battle this out as we get 2 to go. Conover kind of slipped back a little bit, maybe letting his driver pull away with this, because Ronnie Norman running for points, so this win's going to be more beneficial for Ronnie than it would for Josh. That 8 already has a win and is locked into the owner's title, as well as Matthew George in the playoffs. So Norman needs those playoff points. Let's see what happens up front, as it looks like Ryan Patty also going to battle with Senchek for 3rd, as the white flag is in the air for Ronnie Norman.
And very exuberant, Barney, there to display that white flag. I think he's just about as happy as everyone else is to see that white cloth come out. And Norman, he's got a sizable lead over 3rd in Ryan Patty. I mean, that's about a 4-second gap. Can Norman keep it straight here and not throw it away? Conover thought about maybe trying something, but in fact, it's Norman who hangs on. And Ronnie Norman taking victory here in the most unlikely of circumstances, and he'll throw it sideways through the corner. I think he can't quite believe he got it either. His good friend and teammate Josh Conover stealing 2nd place. And, you know, it's almost like they worked it out. They knew this is how it was all going to end.
Yeah, I don't know about stealing 2nd place, but taking 2nd place for sure. I mean, he had a weird up and down day, and Conover able to get up there into 2nd and get that podium position that he's been missing for a couple weeks. So good to see him in the podium. And now Norman going to burn it down across the start-finish line. Almost hits the inside wall.
So with that, we're going to watch as Ronnie Norman celebrates, and we're going to take a momentary break here, catch our breath, get the results up on the screen, and we're going to be chatting with your top 3 finishers here in the NORA Cup Series. Post-race discussion. You won't want to miss it. We'll be right back here at VirtualRacing.Network. And welcome back here on VirtualRacing.Network. You saw it happen. Pretty crazy stuff. It ended up with the 3 Flatline Motorsports teammates, 1, 2, and 3. Ronnie Norman for Flatline just is in the right place at the right time, fights hard, and ends up taking the victory in the number 33 for Flatline Motorsports. Second place going to Josh Conover, and third to the fill-in driver tonight, Ryan Patty, in the 25 machine. Tom Senchek for Late Apex, the top finisher over at that team, in 4th place. 5th goes to Jacob Gladelich. 6th to Anthony Mackey. 7th to Adam Kulikowski. 8th, Justin Moody. 9th, Josh Curry. 10th, Ryan Bird. 11th, Timmy Harper. 12th, Blade Timmons. 13th, Kyle Rochelle. 14th, Brady Moats. 15th, Jay Christenberry. 16th, Dakota Moniz. 17th, going to Stephen Henning. 18th to Chad Engel. 19th going to Vincent Arthur. 20th, Jacob Malone. 21st, Brandon Dunford. And 22nd, Nick Geilis. And with that, we're going to get a chance to talk with our top 3. And Christian, I believe we've got Ryan Patty up first. Let's see if we can manage to get him here into our post-race discussion area. Hey, Ryan, this is Trevor Greenfield. Congratulations on taking 3rd place. I know that's not what you were thinking based off of when we chatted earlier. Apologize for the curse, but it didn't end up too bad. You still got 3rd.
Yeah, it's absolutely not what we're hoping for there. Podium finish is still nice coming into this series. First race with the NORA Series. Fun running with these guys. I don't know. Crew chief told me to stay out. I'm second guessing it now.
Well, it worked for most of the first part of that stint. Take us through that decision process to stay out on those older tires. I know it had worked earlier. You were able to take the stage victory. Did you finally kind of hit the end of the rope to those tires? Is that what caught you out and you managed to go up and tag the wall?
Yeah, I think what happened in the second stage where I was able to stay out, I didn't actually push the car too far, or too hard, that is, during the stage. So the tires were still in pretty good shape when it came down to the end of it. But in that final stage, it seemed like I had someone pressing me the whole time. And yeah, just used them up a little bit too much. Looking in the mirror there, I had an Angry Bird all over me for a few laps there, and that definitely had me pushing the limits a little bit farther than I wanted to. Yeah, it just caught up with me.
Otherwise, though, a very successful couple of races for you here at New Hampshire Motor Speedway, and of course, get to head back over to the Icon Cup Series on Sunday night and drive at a track like Pocono. We'll be doing the same here in the NORA Cup Series. Thoughts on Pocono for both this series and your Icon Series coming up on Sunday, and then are we going to see you back here in NORA Cup, and is there a chance we get you running in both?
TBD on that. It's going to be tough to run all those nights because I already do run another league as well. But yeah, Pocono's a good track. It's not a mile. I have a soft spot for mile tracks. They're typically my favorites. You got to slow down a lot more, really finesse the car around the corners. But Pocono's got, I said it on Sunday too, right? It's got 3 different corners. It's very, very challenging, very technical, but there's also a lot of draft that comes into it. So maybe you miss a corner a little bit, you catch the draft, you can catch back up to the pack. So it's probably going to be a lot of pack racing, which can be good or bad depending on how everyone races around each other. And we got a new crew over there in the Icon Series. We'll see how they race. It seems like it's not all that different from the NORA Series though, because it was eventful in both races so far this week.
Well, you did a fabulous job filling in here as Josh needed to slide over to the number 8 machine. But anybody you'd like to thank before we roll on with the broadcast here tonight?
Yeah, I mean, I'll just thank Josh and Ronnie and our teammates there bringing me in, give me a ride, and let me drive with them in this Flatline Motorsports car. Yeah, good guys. I wouldn't have been able to do it without them, so I appreciate them bringing me in, trying to keep it clean, just keep it competitive. And yeah, anytime I can make it, I'd love to come back and run with these guys.
Well, we'd certainly love to have you back. You were class of the show tonight. We really enjoyed that battle between you and Bird, side-by-side battle lasting for quite a while, and you managed to make him run off kind of his tires and eventually end up going sideways. But either way, it was a great run from you here tonight, Ryan, and we'll see you over on Sunday night over here on VirtualRacing.Network and the Icon Cup Series.
Thank you, gentlemen. Have a good night.
You as well, my friend. So that is Ryan Patty. He took the win on Sunday night here on VirtualRacing.Network and looks set to possibly do so here tonight. Unfortunately, not to be had as a strategy call on tires kind of caught him out, and he ended up giving up that position, but still finishing third. And with that, Christian, I think you managed to catch up with our second place finisher, Mr. Joshua Conover, who is still gaming, so you might have to interrupt him.
Yeah, might have to interrupt his gaming on Black Ops 1 there. Josh, you finished second. I tell you what, if you told me coming into this thing that you would finish in the top 3, I would have said you're crazy. But you finished second. Up and down night for you. How did you end up getting here?
Jeez, you're asking me. I still can't tell you. I mean, granted, you kind of called it. I was playing some Black Ops 1 Zombies, you know. So Microsoft bought out Activision, so we've been grinding on that a little bit. And I had no practice. Qualifying was, I think, my 5th completed lap, and even then I botched it. And yeah, it took me, I think, like 60, 70 laps to finally figure out how to get into the corner, and then the next 60 or so to figure out how to kind of get through the center of the corner. And it just took me a long time to figure it out, and then I finally did. And even then, I still wasn't as fast as like Ronnie or Ryan or Tom or Bird or, you know, any of them top guys. So sometimes you got to be or have more luck than, you know, being fast and whatnot. And definitely helped tonight because yeah, that self spin early didn't feel good either.
I was gonna say you were one of the first cautions. Did that damage affect you at all throughout the night? Because it looks like your right side's a little scraped up there.
Definitely before I got it fixed, I think I ended up with like a minute 45 or 2:15 or something like that, like somewhere around there. And it took me, I want to say, like 2 or 3 cautions to actually get it fixed, and I could definitely feel a difference. To be honest, looking back now and how it was driving at the end, I don't know if it was helping or hurting at that point in time, but like I said, I was still learning, so I was just kind of figuring it was just how I was driving the car and I was doing something wrong. But I don't know. It's even then, like Ronnie was asking, and all the asking, like, "Oh, what happened?" I was like, "I don't know." It went in the corner like I had been. Granted, I know it was still early, but like the first couple laps, and it just went. And I was kind of along for the ride at that point.
Well, as a team owner, you got to be absolutely thrilled having Ronnie win and Ryan Patty fill in and get third. So I think this is the first time since, I want to say, Atlanta early in the season that you guys have finished 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, again, I told Ron that too. I was like, man, we got flatline 1, 2, 3 again. It's been a while, and yeah, it's been quite some time, which, you know, isn't obviously a bad thing. It just shows the wide variety of talent we have here and guys that can run up front, you know, because obviously if we were finishing 1, 2, 3 every week, it wouldn't be as well. It would still be fun for us, but not as fun for you guys, you know, obviously interviewing the same people and not, you know, getting, like I said, like Ryan Bird, his wins, Tom, like all them guys. So, you know, it obviously feels good for us to be 1, 2, 3, but, you know, obviously, like I said, it just shows that there's a lot of talent in here that can run up front, you know, on a weekly basis.
Well, we're gonna let you go here, but before we do, is there anyone you want to give a shout out to and thank for this second place finish here? And also, gotta ask Pocono next week how you feel about that.
Well, I think I said it. I guess it had to have been, well, no, because I've had an interview on Tuesday too. I was gonna say, whenever we last talked, I had said, you know, for the truck race, I won the truck race there last year, but obviously, you know, they got it. iRacing's had a year to adjust on setups and the packages and all that nonsense. So I don't know. If I had to guess, I'd say we'll probably, hopefully, be a top 5 truck. But you know, obviously Brian Jones, probably Reeder, Briscoe, you know, them usual guys. They'll be up front and hard to beat, and just gotta obviously keep the fenders on it. And then Cup, I mean, I don't know. I feel like Cup might be a little bit more spread out, just because, I mean, that's obviously draft dependent, but not as draft dependent, I feel like. So I don't know. Hopefully, just put on good shows. Obviously, if it goes green, you could see it get spread out just by guys saving the right front and stuff. But I don't know. We'll see what happens tonight. You guys for the broadcast, obviously. Everybody that showed up. I mean, it was 22. I think I killed Dunford in my self spin, so he kind of didn't really have a a prayer of getting very far in this race. So I apologize to him, and I think I actually killed Nick too, maybe, or somebody. I think somebody else hit me, but no, I mean, not really everybody's favorite track. But because I know, like, obviously, you're missing Kleba and even Reader. I know they're super fast here, but hopefully get them guys back next week for Pocono. And like I said, everybody just showed up, makes it fun. We got bigger fields, but obviously ended with 9. But yeah, I don't know. All in all, I think it was actually not a terrible race considering the setup was probably the loosest thing we'll drive all year. But I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully, it was a decent show at least.
Well, congrats again on your second place, and congrats as a team owner on the top 3.
Thank you guys. Appreciate it.
All right, we'll go ahead and bring Ronnie Norman into victory lane here and have a chat with him. Trevor, I believe you have Ronnie Norman in victory lane.
Indeed, I do. And Ronnie Norman, he's stormed to success here. And, Ronnie, we were commenting partway towards the end of this one. You were still back battling in 5th place, 4th place. You just seem to have this knack for being kind of at the right place at the end. You charge hard. You're just waiting. We saw you sitting behind a very strong battling Ryan Patty and Ryan Bird, and you were just waiting for something to happen, and when it did, you pounced. Congratulations, Ronnie. You managed to snag another victory, and you led a Flatline Motorsports 1-2-3.
Yeah, thanks, Trevor. I mean, it's always, I'm used to being the first or second one in broadcast or interviewed after these races, so whenever you're the last one for the night, it feels extra special for sure. But yeah, no, I went ahead and pitted there with that last caution just because I had one set left. So I thought I might as well use it while I got it, and I feel like it's definitely what helped me get that victory for sure. Shout out to Ryan and Josh for racing, and I know Bird was coming. I was just, man, my heart was pounding for sure. I didn't know those laps. Those are the longest laps of my life. It felt like those last 10, and I think there finally with about 3 or so to go, I think I felt a little bit better about myself. I mean, Josh would get me a little bit, and then I would kind of pull away coming out of the corner. And, it's always scary when you got Josh behind you just because you know what type of caliber driver he is. And it feels really, really good to get another win. And, I mean, technically it's only my second earned one this year out of my 3. So, I mean, it feels extra special, too. But, yeah, no, coming in here, I definitely did not expect to win here in New Hampshire. So, marking this one off in a win column here in NORA, you gotta enjoy it just because getting a win in here, it's not easy at all.
Well, and not only the win, and of course it feels great to get the win. I mean, we're not that far away from the playoffs. It's a good time to start getting that super confidence heading into the playoffs. But your nearest competitor in the regular season championship, Vincent Arthur, your teammate, alt F4ing out of the race after struggling up there in 2nd place, to his detriment, because I mean, there you are sitting in the championship, ready to go up there and challenge him for that championship, and as a result, this is quite a delta in the amount of points that you're going to get. You may take over the championship lead here.
Yeah, that'll be pretty wild if I do, but I mean, it'll be close, but I don't really know how close it'll be. But yeah, no, I mean, it was a big points night with Vincent backing out and me getting the win, just because, I mean, me getting a win, that's just like it's just extra cherry on top, I guess, for sure. But yeah, no, we'll have to see what happens. But even when Vincent comes back, it's going to be still kind of hard to get by him in these upcoming races. But I mean, yeah, no, it is coming down to the end here, to the end of the season, and it would definitely help getting the extra bonus points for leading the regular season championship. So I've been able to kind of keep it close, but I mean, I haven't been able to keep it close enough. But yeah, I mean, tonight's race will definitely help out for sure. But I mean, right when he's back here next week, you're gonna have to get right back up on the horse and try again. So we'll see what happens.
Well, Pocono will definitely be a whole different animal. Some great races yet to come here in the last of the regular season before we hit those playoffs. But still, it does have to feel pretty darn good, Ronnie. You were there on Sunday night. So many cautions, so many drivers having trouble sliding off the track, etc. And then, here tonight, same thing. Everybody really struggling, but it's got to feel great to see your name atop the order at the end of this. I mean, to be there at the end of a race when everyone struggles and to take that victory, it really does have to feel good and give you some confidence heading into the final end of the season.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, it's just being able to keep the car clean and keep the nose clean for sure, to be able to make sure you can turn in the corners was everything, honestly. And being able to, I mean, I was around a little bit of carnage here and there, but luckily I was able to dodge it. And yeah, no, just running up front. I mean, I literally hate being chased down there at the end of the race. So I was honestly scared to lock up the left front and go up to the wall and Josh pull up right beside me. But I just tried to focus on hitting my marks. I tried to stay out of my mirror. And honestly, I do feel like I probably did the best that I could have ever done trying to keep Josh behind me, because I felt like for sure I was hitting my marks every time on that low line, and that's honestly what I was trying to do. So, just a feel-good feeling toward myself, just because, I mean, we race every weekend here, and, it's just nice to kind of see some progress and just stay consistent. And, I feel like, I think that's like my 15th top 5, so I've been pretty consistent in here, and I know a lot of the racing in general, consistency is key. So being able to snag another win in NORA, I'm definitely enjoying this one for sure.
Well, a great way to celebrate tonight. You probably were not involved in the drinking game. We lost some viewers off of our YouTube chat with the caution drinking game. They didn't quite make it to the end, but a great way to finish this one out. And Ronnie, anybody that you want to thank here tonight before we close out our broadcast?
Yeah, I just want to thank FanDuel for being on the car, McAllister Reynolds of Columbus, Indiana, NOS Energy Drink. I want to thank Josh for letting me run on his team this year. I want to thank Snyder Graphics for my paint scheme. I want to thank you guys for broadcasting these races every week, put on great shows for us. Shout out to Josh and Ryan for Flatline 123. Feels good to see that again. I know it's been a while. Just really thankful to run in a fun league, and it's just crazy knowing that we've been racing all season and we're already getting ready to go into the playoffs. So just thanks to everybody that makes this go on, and shout out to I don't know if was Steven in the chat tonight. Shout out to Steven if he was in there.
He definitely was.
Yeah, thanks Steven for tuning in and watching every week. I really appreciate it. Shout out to Brendan Jinks. He shot me a message and said good win, so appreciate you, man. And Jake and Brooke, I don't know if they tuned in or not, but if they did, thanks a lot. But yeah, just thanks to everybody that tunes in to watch these races. We hope we put on some good shows for you, and hopefully going into next week, I know we got two races again on the schedule, Monday and Tuesday, so hopefully we can put on some more good shows for everybody, and hope everyone has a good week. But yeah, we're going to enjoy this one for sure.
Well, I hope you do, and you get a great chance to celebrate with your Flatline teammates. Congratulations, Ronnie. We'll see you next time at Pocono on Sunday.
All right, thank you guys. Appreciate you.
So that is Ronnie Norman, who takes the win. Christian, this was an absolutely fantastic win for Ronnie Norman, and really a win for Flatline Motorsports overall. This was kind of back to the old groove of what we saw in the early part of the NORA Cup season, series season in 2023. But right now, heading into the playoffs, this is all these drivers are right now right where they want to be, and nobody could be feeling better than Ronnie Norman heading towards the end of this regular season.
Yeah, this is definitely a momentum booster for Ronnie, getting this win with only, I think, about 6 or 7 races left before the playoffs. I'm not sure how many. There's a good bit. But this is a big boost to his confidence. Like he said, Vincent Arthur, typically the one from Flatline to win. He has to compete with him whenever he has a good race. So it's a nice change to see Ronnie back up on top. And like he said, the one race that he had that he won, he technically finished third. So this one though, he went out there and actually got the first position. So congrats to him. And this was a good race tonight. We had a couple green flag runs that really went well, and that last one I think was about a 25 lap green flag run. So it was good to see some green flag action tonight.
Well, and as he also mentioned, a great livery on that car there.
Yeah.
I think he said Snyder, Facebook.com/Snyder Graphics. I'll have to head on over there if I need a good livery made for myself. But yes, indeed, Christian, this was a lot of fun here tonight. We ended up with some really great side-by-side battles. Congratulations to everybody out there who did manage to finish and everybody who gave it their all. This was a very tough track to do it at, and of course, they've struggled with it all week long. Here on VirtualRacing.Network, our very next broadcast will be Sunday night right here on VirtualRacing.Network. You won't want to miss it. It'll be at 7:55 Eastern Time, and it'll be from Pocono. Now, if you love Pocono, that's great because you'll be seeing it again Monday night as well for the NORA Truck Series. Of course, the Sunday night is the Icon Cup Series, and then Monday is the NORA Truck Series, and Tuesday night will be at Pocono as well for the NORA Cup Series. So lots of Pocono action right here on VirtualRacing.Network. You won't want to miss it. And on behalf of Christian Snyder and myself, Trevor Greenfield, we thank you so much for joining us over in the YouTube chat as well. All of you who support those drivers and support us, we greatly appreciate it. Make sure to hit that subscribe button if you're not already subscribed, and like this video so that we can get this video out there even further, and we'll see more of you in the YouTube chat. On behalf of everybody, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your week. Until next time, so long, everybody. Have a wonderful, wonderful evening.